fun.
We're live.
Most interactive chat.
It was.
I'm so
It was
happy
fun.
they picked Final
Good
Fantasy
evening,
VII.
everybody.
Hello! Welcome everyone to tonight's episode of Ætherealms here on Lakeside Legendz. Oh yeah, I don't have my sound effects ready. Okay. Sorry. So before we get started, let's just do our quick shout outs. So hop over to my left. Let's talk about some coffee.
Coffee, caffeine.
I got a new one in.
Ooh,
I
what'd
got
you
one
get?
of the special ones.
What'd you get?
I'll look. Hang on.
Okay, while she's looking, Geek Grind Coffee, guys. It's good stuff. GeekGrindCoffee.com. What'd you get? Ooh, Silent Night. That was supposed to have like the eggnog and
gingerbread.
yeah. You have
It
to
was
tell
on
me
sale
how it
because
is.
it was a holiday. I was like, I want to try this.
Ooh. Yay! But GeekGrindCoffee.com, if you do use the promo code ICONIC, you will get 20% off of your order. And when you order using that promo code, you're actually helping our stream. So that is it's win for you and win for us. You get caffeine, we get a little money to keep the site going, get the little sound effect machines, all that fun stuff that you're seeing with the stream. It just helps out. But good coffee. They do tea, mugs, shirts. They do like little gift crates. It's really go check out their website just to check it out. I mean, it's got.
They do have K-cup mixed bags now, so you can get mixers
bags,
of the K-cups. It's for a limited time. That's at least what they're saying. So,
Well, that way you can try a little bit of everything. Yeah,
which I highly recommend. Their gift boxes are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll say this was their I keep it back here just in case everyone wanted to ship. Like this is a little sampler and it gives you a whole bunch of ones to try. And that's how we found out that we loved Wizard's Mist, and now we get Wizard's Mist all the time because of the one little sampler that was in here. But yeah, so geekgrindcoffee.com, promo code ICONIC, 20% off. Go check them out. Yay! And that's it for me.
That means it's my turn.
That means it's Laura's turn.
It's okay. Laura's going to do better than Connor and I did last night. Actually, me. It was all
You
me.
guys did great last night.
I didn't know what was going on last night because I had the server muted because I had a thing going on. So I didn't get the message. So I didn't know why you were asking for the information. Anyway,
Whoops.
So welcome to Lakeside Legendz.
Put a little background music for her.
Fantasy storytelling community where we as a community tell stories. And this week, and every week we do that playing Dungeons and Dragons. You can find all of our stuff on our website, lakesidelegends.com, including all of our social media where we post about things that we're doing. Sometimes we do memes. Look, I'm bad at the social media, but that is where we tell you if we cancel something or if something new is coming up. So if you just want news, make sure you follow our social media, and our Discord is open. So come join that, Lakeside Village. That's where all the memes happen and some other fun, nerdy discussions. Yep. That's it.
Good stuff.
Would you like to make an announcement now?
There's the tail.
Mad that Wynn has been missing for multiple weeks now.
Yes.
She doesn't have McCree on Fridays and she doesn't have Wynn on Wednesdays. She's just very angry with,
Oh no.
with the DM situation of this choices. Well, to be fair, the Friday one was not
No.
DM's decision.
No, that was the party decision, and we're all sad about it.
But welcome to
But we
Lakeside
want Wynn
Legendz.
back.
Yay!
Want Win back. I need to have some fuzzy animal companion to play around with. Come
Here's
on.
the quota is empty.
Yeah.
The smile Laura's giving right now. It's like, okay, guys.
Well,
All right,
I think it gets
so-
to stay with Lore tonight, doesn't it? Doesn't
It
she?
does.
Yes,
Yes.
it does. So Laura's
Ah.
gonna do our recap.
Sorry guys. Okay, so what happened last week? We left my house. Sucks. Didn't even get to see my horse. Rude. So
We
yeah.
were in an in-between world where we were pseudo dead.
Look,
That's true. You don't want your horse to be dead.
aside from my paw, my horse is the only thing I care about.
Well, there was a whole group of horses back there at the little desert town.
No, those
Yeah,
were corpses.
Those
Corpses,
horses.
not horses.
So anyway,
Never
we
gonna live
left,
that down.
we left
Nope.
Catel's house and followed
Could be
Flex
worse.
into this in between that we're in, between life and death. And as we're following him, it goes from like plains and stuff to forest, which is like Fey forest. And there was a lot of conversation, mostly between Cattell, just making sure everybody wasn't going crazy or freaking out. She noticed that Felmy did not like their location and the invisible creatures that were watching them. Lorna seemed pretty okay, just stressed out, because situationally we're in a rough spot. Lexi was very much paying attention to the back of Flick's head. That's strange. The building shook. Cool. Anyway, so Lexi, yeah, I don't know. See, it felt like maybe somebody slammed a door downstairs really hard. I don't know. I live in an apartment. You feel everything.
It does happen. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Lexi's looking at the back of Flick's head, trying not to draw attention or freak out. Dodger is having an inner conversation with himself about not messing up. Cattell got him to think about food, and hopefully that helped. It looks like it might have helped until we had the whole idea that maybe we weren't going to eat, and then she felt bad. But then we did, so it was fine. And then Cedric was starting to fall apart. That was cool.
Literally.
Literally falling apart. Yeah, he's got glowy stuff coming out from under his skin. So anyway, eventually, after checking in with everybody, which was, I felt like most of the game, we stopped to make camp and got the Ashen Lady's promise that we were guests, which meant that we would be protected and no bad things would happen so long as we stayed in our little camp circle, because we're not technically in the Fae world yet. But then we were attacked. So
I love that that's your interpretation of Luna's question.
wait, what question?
I just love that was your interpretation of Lorna asking about the guest rights.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of there. Sort of more about something else.
It was kind of loosey-goosey, like, obviously there was room for interpretation on both sides. Fae. So anyway, we fight these beasties with tentacles that try to eat Dodger and almost killed him because he was really hurt. Oh yeah, we just
Good
fought.
times.
Yeah, we fought real hard, real good. Lorna reminded them the atmosphere that we were guests and we needed some help. Well, disembodied people watching us that we can't see the atmosphere. So like a couple rounds later, the little monster's eyes flashed red and then they backed off, and I'm pretty sure we could have killed him, but we had other things on our mind, like Cedric falling apart and turning into a body of light that may or may not disappear. We don't know. And then everybody went to bed. The end. That's what happened last night. I mean, pretty much, right? That was kind of it.
Pretty much, yeah. And that's the recap.
Cedric's sword almost killed Lorna.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Lorna picked up.
Cattell only was the one trying to yell at her about it.
I know. Cattell's like, stay away from Cedric. He's got the glowy stuff that hurts you. And what does she do? She picks up his sword and gets zapped by the glowy stuff that hurts her. So whatever. It's fine.
Radioactive.
And now Cedric's all freaked out because he's afraid of hurting everybody, and it's cool.
Really, just Lorna.
Well, potentially, if it went to, like nuclear, then everybody would be affected, but mostly Lorna.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah,
this is true.
Let's hope.
See, I don't really miss anything except for that one.
I'm very impressed with your recap. You were like,
Yes.
oh Lord.
Look, like I said, not a whole lot happened.
Yeah.
Not a lot. No,
It was mostly just entertainment, not a whole lot of story plot stuff that I had to remember.
Fair.
So hope I don't have to remember those the next time it happens.
You don't have to remember next week because you get to pick who does it next week.
Oh, that's right, I do.
Oh, no.
That's right. Who's it gonna be?
I don't
Who's
know
it
yet.
gonna be?
I'll tell y'all after. at the end.
Whoever takes her out during stream.
Yeah, right.
We'll find out who does the recap after the break.
We'll see if
Why
I
is
take notes.
everybody taking care of Cattell. It's like, what do you need, Cattell? Let me get that for you.
Wouldn't that be a change in her life?
Granted, would Cattell allow that?
I don't know.
If it's
Exactly.
neat, maybe she'd take. I mean,
She might feel weirded out by it.
especially now she's
Exactly.
missing her raptor pack. It's all gone.
No, we already established she still had it.
No, she ate
No.
most of it,
She ate most of what we
that's
established.
it.
Yeah.
but
That's it.
she didn't get to keep any of it because she's like disembodied spirit.
She ate it and it just fell right through.
I mean, most things would.
All right. Now that we're all recapped, let's get into character.
I'm very
Back,
curious
we're
of what
back.
it means.
There's so many things that I'm like, I think we need to list at some point have Shauna on just to explain things.
Have her interview her about our artwork.
Yes.
Yeah, well, some of it
Yes.
I know she knows that's like spoilers for the rest of us, so we don't necessarily want to know. But
We're
I know
talking
she-
about the person that did our artwork, everybody.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you should go look her out at
Mythic
Mythic
Geekdom.
Geekdom because
Yep.
she's amazing.
There's
I'm
secrets
currently
in
working
there.
on a bunch of.
Secrets.
I can't wait. I get to see her in a couple weeks and see her art that she's displaying at Gallifrey's art show.
Oh,
And I
neat.
get to see the art live, and I'm super excited. I've seen pictures of progress and stuff. but-
I've seen it live and it's so good. You have
Shut up.
things, so many things to look forward to. I'm just saying.
Jerk, rub it in, rub it in.
So should I go to Battle Map or could I keep us in chat for a while?
You keep us in chat.
Yay,
Because
okay.
Cool.
the map from last week doesn't exist anymore.
Okay. And we're ready.
All right. Morning comes.
Throughout the night, Cattell has been checking on Cedric. She didn't wake up anybody else for her.
Yeah, you
All
said
right,
you
so-
probably wouldn't.
During the night,
Cattell didn't get a long rest.
yeah, didn't get that long rest.
But she's at full health, you guys.
I will be honest, Lorna would have woken up after her and early and probably would have been like, just at least go rest your eyes, something.
That depends on what happens with the Cedric thing. Because
That's fair.
So after a couple hours, I check on him again, and there's always this glow coming from the tent, from his parts, that are vanishing. And
Wait, okay, hold on. You just said vanishing. Does that mean like his arm that's been fully exposed, is that vanishing or is it still there as like a
well, I
form
mean the
of life?
flesh and stuff.
Okay,
the,
okay,
the,
okay.
the flesh.
just
Like you
wanted
see the glowing,
clarification.
part of it, yeah. But there's
Is
no.
it still shaped like a hand or is it now just
Yes,
a okay.
it's still a hand. I don't know what that was, but yeah.
We got hands.
When you check on him, next time Cedric, I assume, just what's he doing?
Praying
How does he pray?
like this.
Stand up, sitting down,
Oh,
on his
no.
knees.
Kneeling, his sword in front of him.
Okay. So when you check in on him, he's got his back to you. sword laying in front of him. His hands are covered. You can see the glow from the one hand that was exposed, but that's all you can see because he's got all that. I mean, very little of him shows.
Right. I'm there making sure that he is at least keeping form.
So he's seems to have form, and you leave him be. A little
There's
later, you
more
check
of
out.
his flesh gone.
Do you look around?
Yeah.
When you look around, his the part of his face that was already gone is still gone. The other part's still there.
Okay. Okay. So can I ascertain that his flesh is only being removed under like physical stress, like when he held the piece of meat, or like if he's touched or something, like it has to be agitated for it to go away, or is it?
No, because you saw the
Can't-
piece of flesh come off of him
Right.
while he was just walking.
I don't know, maybe like a little pebble hit him in the
A
face.
little mosquito bit him.
Right.
His forehead fell off.
But it doesn't
'Cause it
look
happens.
like he's mostly covered, so I can't really tell how much of
Right.
him is. Okay. I'm just gonna keep an eye on him, make sure that he's at least staying in a form and not just a glowy body that might dissipate like fog or something.
When you check on him a little later, the side where his face was missing, this whole side of his body is now coat and stuff is just dangling there.
Can I see?
As if hung on a coat rack, would be like hung on his shoulder. His hat's all slanted down.
But is there like light coming from that area?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
so,
yeah, you see his whole basically it just fell through his body and you see like torso, like you see this glowing form. And he does
Okay.
not seem to notice because he's still in his same form praying.
Okay. I'm just like
But the tent is lit up
okay.
brightly.
Okay. Just gonna keep an eye. Because I'm so afraid of the amulet making it worse.
A little later, and you see all his clothes just laying on a pile around him. And there's just this humanoid shape of glowing energy. Still praying, still kneeling.
Okay. This is so stressful. Okay.
And that's at pre-dawn when that's coming. So there's a mist that hangs over the campsite just above the ground that seems to shift and billow of its own accord against what the wind is doing. Doesn't seem to cause any harmful effect other than it's just eerie in how it is acting because it's not acting naturally. Lorna, you wake up later than you wanted to, but you had some healing to do.
Yeah.
But it's pre-dawn, so it's still dark, but you could tell just that it's later than what you were intending.
I'm gonna go out to the fire and check to see if it needs stoking to bring it back to life a bit, and look
All right,
around.
so it is down. So as you go, you see Cattell is kind of standing in the opening of Cedric's tent that has a purple light coming from it, and she's almost like a silhouette in this light.
I'll walk over to look over her shoulder.
As
Do
you
I
approach,
notice her coming?
are you being stealthy or just walking over there?
She hasn't made any sounds. It's not like she's intentionally being stealthy, but she generally, especially in this setting, would generally be very quiet. So
But
take it with
She's
you.
got a high perception. You hear her.
I kind of look back at her and just put a
Because she's not,
hand-
unless she was trying to be stealthy, then I'm like, okay, she's got a pretty good shot of keeping quiet. But if she's just
Right.
like, I'm not being quiet, but I'm not being loud, then you would have sensed her
I
approaching.
just turn back and kind of put out a warning hand.
Is he all right?
He's not disappeared, but I don't know if it's safe for you to get too close. He's just the purple light now.
I'm gonna take just like 2 steps, keeping her in between me and his light. Is there any change in what I feel radiating off of him?
You feel it just like seep through your skin.
I'll take a step back. Anything I can do will likely harm him more.
Yeah. I'm going to see her fiddling with the amulet, which she doesn't usually have out. You would notice.
Have you tried?
To give this to him? I'm
Well, I was about to hand him the dagger, but
I mean, it helped Belmy, but I'm afraid that it'll have a different effect on him. Make it worse.
didn't he hold it before?
I don't remember if he's held it. Wait.
I
No,
thought you
he's-
gave it to him to study.
Yeah, he's held it, but he's not like worn it the way Belmy had. When Belmy had it, he actually put it on and it seemed to connect with him. And then the sand stopped. I've been wanting to see if it will hold him together, but so far he's just lost physical form. He's still there. He's still him. So I don't know if it would mean anything.
There's one thing I can try, but I don't know if it'll do anything. And I'd have to get close to him.
What? What is it?
It's what I did for Belmy. But I made his ears unblock.
Right.
It's not terribly comfortable either way. But your medallion might be a safer bet at first.
I just wish I knew what it was. What it really did. And if it would have effects like your healing does on him. Can I, now thinking about this, do I feel kind of the same energy from it as I do when Lorna heals the amulet? Does it give
No,
totally different?
totally different.
Okay.
Would I know if if Lesser Restoration would do anything? It's technically a different school of magic than Cure Wounds or Healing Word. I believe all those are evocation magic, whereas Lesser Restoration is abjuration. This is functioning on the theory that it's the evocation spells that are having the problem and not, because he doesn't seem to react when I'm near him. It's me reacting to him. So but
Right.
when I cast the actual spell, Cure Wounds, that's what did the damage.
Lesser Restoration's effect is healing. However, it's for afflictions. So technically, probably you're okay in that space. Like it shouldn't, because it heals afflictions.
But I don't know if it'll.
Yeah, you don't know what exactly it's going to do, but it
Yeah.
probably is not going to react like your healing does.
I just want to make sure it wouldn't hurt him, is what I'm more.
Yeah. It in theory should not.
So we either try the amulet or however you restored Belmy's hearing. Or leave it alone and hope nothing else happens.
There's a bit of an extra concern. If we go to meet with the Ashen Lady and she offers a deal to help Cedric.
Right. Well, I mean, we have to go back to our bodies, or we brought back somehow. Wouldn't that include Him? He wouldn't just be walking around like that.
There's a bit of confusion I have on that front. It's if we aren't in our same bodies, which we saw that they're
Right.
damaged,
Badly.
but some of us took damage last night. We're still hurt. Dodger and I, well, pretty badly actually.
Yeah, this whole thing is confusing.
Oh. Guess we'll find out more. Perhaps the Ashen Lady knows, but if there's one thing I know about the Fae, they don't often give anything away for free. What are we willing to barter?
I'd rather be ignorant than barter anything important. And that's something I think we'll have to talk to everybody about.
I'd offer we should probably tuck the medallion away. But if she asks about it, don't lie.
Well, they don't know anything about it, so lying seems... well, it would cause more trouble.
So would possibly parting with it without knowing what it does.
I've read enough stories to be wary of parting with treasures given by the old wise ones.
I'm gonna pull out the dagger. Seems that both have changed.
Yeah. And kind of look at the medallion and the eyes on it. Honestly, it's a little creepy. Should we wake the others?
I'll flip the dagger around and then I'm going to tuck the wooden dagger into my belt and then underneath my shirt so that it is out of sight behind, like at the small of my back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just nod and head towards Dodger's tent to make sure, just to double check that he's all right still, and wake him up.
All right, as you turn around, you see Belmy.
Howdy.
So is he just standing there?
And he's not like no, he's not. He's not directly behind. Like he's back by his tent. He's
I
he's
don't
basically-
talk about Bruno vibes right now.
he's basically woke up.
Okay. Just think it would have been funny, but okay.
What's
I'm
going
hoping
on
He
in
could
there?
have gotten past you two with your perceptions.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Is he all right? There's some crazy lights coming out from that tent.
Catel's not there right now. She's still looking in the tent. Like, should I fold his clothes? Do I go grab him? Like, I don't know what to do.
Apparently he's a bit more purple and incorporeal. And I probably shouldn't get near him unless there's a very good reason.
Right. Well, I mean, he's still alive or conscious, I guess.
Well, he hasn't said anything, but Catel's worried, but not trying to shake him. So I suppose I don't know.
Let me go take a look at him. I'm not affected by that energy the same way you are, so maybe I can
I'll get the
diagnose.
others.
All right. I'll walk in the tent and see what's up.
All right.
Just brush
Before you
past
do, you
Cattell.
come to Cattell, who's still at the tent. Before you get through the tent.
How's he doing?
I don't know. And I don't know what to do about any of that.
Hey, Cedric. You alive in there? You conscious?
What do I hear, Steve?
You hear that? Kind of at the
The-
distance through your, because you're concentrating, but you can hear the voice.
The figure turns its glowy face halfway towards the sound, and you can hear just the barest whisper. Is that right, Steve?
Yep.
I am here.
You notice that when he speaks, where his mouth would be, there's like a ripple of energy that comes from it, like, and it just pulses through the whole form with each syllable.
I shouldn't be fascinated, but I am absolutely fascinated.
Are you still with us, Cedric? I mean, looks like you're turning into a spirit. You float away.
Do not worry. All will be well.
Insight check. He was lying last night. Is he lying again?
Okay, give me a roll. Insight check.
Insight? Okay.
Ooh. All right, with Cedric. You can roll your deception.
Yeah,
if
you
you're
can
lying.
clearly see in the rippling purple. I don't know what to I don't know what tells to give here, if any.
Are you
That's
lying,
his
or are you
raw
usually all be
self.
well?
How does
Cedric
it
believes it.
feel? Cedric believes it. She can feel that Cedric believes it. He's saying.
Like it's
hard not to worry when you're turning into a specter.
I do not fear this. All will be well.
I mean, as long as he stays in some kind of form, we can see.
Hopefully, it's not far to that Ashen lady. Maybe she can sort them out.
Well, technically, we all need to be sorted out.
Yeah, perhaps a bottle.
He's a genie. If I put him in a bottle and then I rub it, he comes out. Do I get my 3 wishes?
Yes, what do you want?
Get to Miramar.
I know, right?
We know that's never going to happen.
You got it, Shazam.
Well, I guess it's, if you're not worried, then I'm all right for now. But
in the attempt to be sensitive because of what happened at the hotel, maybe you should grab his clothes instead of me.
oh, all right. Are all of his clothes hanging off of him? Just like
They're on the floor.
they're laying in a pile on the floor.
all right. Yeah. Why don't I sort this out?
I guess Cedric is like sitting on.
Yeah, he's literally like kneeling in this pile.
Yeah, she would have been less hesitant if they were like off to the side or something, but man, it just feels a little more personal this way.
Please don't reach inside me.
That tickles.
All right, put the dramatic music back on, Steve. less silly, more
drama.
serious.
Would you like me to carry your things? Your sword, your clothes, your bag. I mean, everything you got. You can't carry anything like that.
Not the sword. Leave the sword.
Oh, we can't leave the sword here. I don't think you can grab it.
I must pray.
All right. I'm gonna be right outside the flap of this tent here. So just shout if you need me, all right?
No response.
I'm gonna look to Cattell and shrug, like,
Did I see what happened with Lorna and the sword before? I don't remember if they were in my peripheral. I was kind
No,
of
because you were over with you and Lexi were beating the tar out of that other one. So
right.
yeah, you
was
wouldn't
a
have seen
tent.
that because
There
they were
was a
they were
tent
they were on
between
the
where you
opposite
guys
side of
were.
the tent. Yeah,
Okay.
And she
'Cause they
moved
went out the
behind
back.
that tent with him.
yeah.
Does Bellamy leave the sword?
I'm gonna leave everything for now. When it's time to pack up, then I'll go in and start collecting things. And he's gonna leave the tent and just kind of, I don't know, stand guard outside the front of it.
Okay. Lorna, you get to Dodger's tent. Yep. Very, very much out like a light.
Out.
Literally, he's just got a little flicker, just barely a flicker in his hair.
And the flicker is just perfectly matched in timing to the snoring that's going on.
She's going to very quietly move in and place her hand on his shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Nicely done, Lorna.
Well done.
And that question, because she gets one. Does she get one freebie of that and one of lesser restoration a day,
Mhm.
or is it
Yep,
separate?
one of each.
Then
Yep, one of each.
I'll use that one as my freebie. So
Okay.
I'll put my essence back.
You
And
should
then-
have on your
I realized it after I rolled it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I see it there. I'll burn it. It's okay. I'll just take it. Well, I can't put it to 0, but I will make a note that I used it. I forgot it until after I'd rolled, and then I was like, well, it's a moot point now. And then as she does that.
There you go. I burned it for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So you got 11. I don't know if you saw.
No,
Yeah.
I saw and I fixed it. I'm like 1 hit point away from being at max. So I very much appreciate this.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, that was a
And
great
then-
heal.
Yeah, that was
That's a
awesome.
great heal.
I think that's the best one I've ever had. And then as the gold starts to fade from her hand, she's gonna shake off her hand again, and then Dodger, it's probably best to wake up.
I was having a lovely dream. That's not the right voice.
Nope.
Nope.
I've done it like 3 or 4 times now.
Apparently he turned Scottish in the morning.
It's the morning voice, you know.
It's okay.
It's
Between the two of us,
pre-coffee.
we've got Scotch Irish.
Right. I was having a lovely dream. Full belly, like in Petra. Just always still in the wilds.
I think we're not quite in there, but on the border.
Right. Okay. How's the sleep?
All right. Clearly, you slept quite well. You look a lot better.
Oh, I feel a lot better. That was a good sleep. So let's go see if there's any foods.
Before you go, you might want to know Cedric. He's a bit different this morning.
What happened to Broody?
He's a bit incorporeal. He's there. You can see him, but sort of glowy.
What now?
He looks like you can put your hand through him.
He's
I
gone
wouldn't
all-
recommend it.
He's gone all ghost-like.
Sort of. He glows this purple sort of shade.
Weird.
We'll figure it out. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
You hear a loud
Thanks.
whooshing sound from outside the tent. All of you do. coming from the center of the camp. Like whoosh.
Does it wake me up? Because I haven't been woken
Yes.
up yet.
That's where we were. I was going next.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, it wakes you
Okay.
up. It's like a whoosh.
Come on.
And it
Whoop.
just definitely
Oh.
draws all of your attention.
I'll rush out of the tent. I'm all
Shout.
ready up.
Following suit.
And there's a fully burning fire with a spit over it, with a roast cooking.
Oh, I guess you're going to have some breakfast after all.
I'll stop prepping it for everyone.
Those who are outside who kind of turned and looked at it catch like just a little glittery fading away as it in the aftermath of its appearance.
And I'll walk over to Lexi's tent and start to open it, but I'm assuming like,
Yeah, I was like, I started. I was like, what?
yeah.
Is it my watch?
Mm.
Because no one woke me.
I'm pretty sure could tell. Didn't allow it.
That doesn't
There's some
surprise
breakfast.
me. Okay.
And maybe leave Cedric to be.
What's
a
wrong
bit-
with Cedric?
He's all right. Just a bit, well, less.
Less as what? As you're saying that, I'm like starting to scramble up.
And I
To get out-
I'll
to
grab
go out
her
the
to stop
tent.
her. He seems to want his space. He's staying there in his tent, but
What's
he's a
wrong?
bit different.
Is he
He's
fading?
how the sure. I don't know. I didn't get a good look. If I get near him, I
Is it
they
still
don't feel right.
Is it still purple? A purple color?
I just wanted to warn you before you were shocked by it. Belmy and Cattell are watching out.
Okay.
We have some theories of things we might try, but we need to probably wait. See if there's an easier solution.
Is this something we think that the Ashen Lady might be able to help us with? Not that I really want her help, but
It's a possibility, but also dangerous. Making deals, like I said last night, promises in Fae, they're more binding than accords. At least in my experience. They supersede anything else. But I don't know the Autumn Court. I've heard stories and I know a bit, but it's not the same. Each place is different. Each
it's like
leader
bad.
is different.
Bad stories? Evil?
No. I mean, there's always evil.
But do they
Um,
lean more towards evil?
It's more fear and not mean. It's they rule. She rules by making people afraid. I guess is what I've heard.
Then that makes her evil. Sounds like she
Why?
feeds, because it sounds like she feeds off of fear.
Well,
Fear is not good.
a wolf in the wild will rule by fear to keep predators away and those who might harm its den.
But there's also
Emotions are
ones
not
that
good or
just
evil.
attack.
No, not in my experience. Not without reason. Goaded and afraid of something else, they might attack what comes in their path, but not for just the fun of it. But again, I don't know. I've never been to the Autumn Court. It's not where I'm from. I mean, really, neither place is where I'm from, but you know. But if Wynn's there and she's there of her own accord, that's one thing.
Well,
If
we
she's
need to
there
go
as a
there to
captor.
see if we can get Wynn. No matter what, we're going there, so we'll just have to see how it plays out.
That's fair. There's food.
I smell it.
Well, you might want to eat some before Dodger gets it all.
He does have quite the appetite.
He does. Go ahead. I'm gonna look around the perimeter just to be sure. Don't want to repeat of last night. Although I'm pretty sure we're safe.
All right.
And I'm just gonna walk around the perimeter.
As you walk off, I do say, you be sure to eat something too.
Sure.
I had to go get some food. And I keep on eyeing the tent of Cedric.
You see the glow coming from,
Yeah.
from the tent. You see Bellamy and Cattell are over there. Dodger's coming out, and heading towards the food. But Dodger, you do also notice the glow.
Dodger just kind of looks at it, gives it a bit of just slight side eye. Just like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm gonna get food for everyone first. And figure my life out. And start slicing off bits of this roast, putting some on rocks next to the fire to start to overcook and get crispy for like hacking along with us. And stuff like that, getting stuff set up for everyone else to have food because he's not going to eat anything until he's learned almost everyone has started to eat.
Being the first one over by the fire too, as you draw closer, you see that there is there's plates and utensils sitting by the fire too.
Ooh, so civilized.
Lovely, right? We get to be all civilized. Like it's not like being next to a dumpster finding what you can find.
Pinkies out, everybody.
Nice. That's to show that you don't have scurvy. Oh dear God in the sky, because nobody actually said that. So, start plating things up and I'll hand a plate over to Lexi and then take a plate over to Cattell and to Belmy. They're like, food, here you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Since Brody's all, Inca ghost-like, do you think he'll want food? I know he doesn't normally eat. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think probably not.
That's sad. It smells really, really good. But here's food.
Thanks, Dodger.
Head back over, make a plate, set it aside for Lorna, and start making my own plate with the extra bits off to the side to go on packs for the rest of the day.
What's Lexi doing?
Eating.
Eating.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did Flick say he was coming back? Last session, what did he say? I can't remember.
Morning.
It was a morning? Okay, I just can't remember.
Yeah, at some point. With this food though, was there any water or drink of some sort provided with this, or was it just the roast?
There's not. But oddly, as the thought crosses your mind, 2 jugs appear.
Dodger just kind of looks
Gold, 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 gold. Bags of it.
Of course, that's Lexi's first thought. And Dodger's like looking around, looks at his sword, and goes, "Somebody else in my brain meets with me? That's not just you? I don't know how I feel about this."
Something wrong, Dodger?
Well, I was just thinking about, water would be lovely with this meal, and we didn't have any when I first looked at the thing, and as soon as I thought about it, these jugs showed up. It's disconcerting to have more than one person in my brain meats. Besides me.
Brain meats.
What? Is that not a phrase where you're from?
It is now.
Awesome. Do you want some water?
Yes, actually, that would be nice.
I'll start filling up cups and handing them out.
DM,
Right.
from real quick, from
Yeah.
my avid reading with my dad, have I ever heard of the intuition of the Fae being able to kind of anticipate what is in your your head?
In your brain meats.
In your brain meats.
Right.
With all the stories that you have heard, whether they are true, half true, or whatnot, the ability certainly would not surprise you because the stories have many tales of strange magics.
Okay.
As you pour, you realize it's wine.
Super fancy.
No, it's box wine. It's
A little spigot.
I'm kidding.
Come on,
Wine-
get everything out of the bag.
Wine
come
is
on.
wine.
Yes.
Do
Slap
I
the jug.
notice when he hands it to me that it's wine?
You could, if you smell it, you can smell it's wine.
I just pass it over to Bellamy.
Oh, that's
Are we
right.
not supposed to be like accepting favors and things? I know we were eating
Lorna-
before. I'm just confused about the whole deal.
Lorna said that we're okay because of our
Because-
being guests.
Yeah, that.
I look around. Where is
I think
She's
she just went on
circling
patrol.
the camp. She's just like on the perimeter of the camp, moving slowly, looking into the woods.
I mean,
Uh,
I think she would have stopped us by now.
all right. Well, I'm not one to turn down some fine wine, so thanks.
Now, if anybody checks the other jug, that is water.
Dodger would check the other jug.
It is water.
We got water too. That one was just the red stuff.
Yeah, water. Please.
Got it. Anybody else who wants what?
You know, I can actually. Bellamy's watching him. I will walk over and pour myself a glass of water.
Okay.
I mean, the jug was already in Dodger's hand pouring
Oh.
himself one, but all right, sure.
Takes it from. I pour my own.
Well, fine then.
No, no, no. She gets her own glass.
Yeah.
Lorna, you want water?
In a few minutes, just let me look around a little bit. I'll be there in a moment.
All right.
All right, got your plate set aside for you. When you're
She just-
ready.
Kind of nods and waves her hand.
It's
still staring
really
out into the
good.
woods. That's to be expected. It's likely made from magic, sort of. Well, made with magic, seasoned with it. You'll probably not ever have any better food than what you have in the Fae.
I don't know. I've had some really good, but this is really good.
As
I
you're
mean,
eating
all-
the meat that you're eating, you've never tasted meat like this before. The seasons and such that have been used to cook it are exotic, but the meat itself, it's not beef, it's not chicken, it's like this flavorful. Texture wise, it's a little gamey, but the flavors are really good.
I mean, just about any food that I have is better than what I normally have. So I'll take it.
Do I notice anything out in the woods? Do I get any kind of sort of feeling
No,
or-
oddly enough, it's there's no sense of it being watched. It's like it's as if it's just a regular forest around you, even without like standard wildlife. It's quiet.
Like
That's what I'm more
eerily
concerned about.
quiet.
Yeah.
No, like I would say, yeah, normally that would be an eerie quiet because being a hunter, you'd be like, but this is more of like you get the sense that your things are being kept at bay.
I'll come back and sit down. Just kind of
Okay.
thinking through that, knowing what I know about the Autumn Court. That seems
Mhm.
that actually seems more strange than anything else. So
Hey, Lorna, when should we stop accepting the hospitality of these folk? I know we're supposed to be wary about accepting things and making deals. I mean, like, when do we stop eating their food, and when do we stop playing nice with these guys? They want something from us, right?
I would assume so.
I-
As far as when to stop eating their food, at this point, your guest rights, generally speaking, those last until you leave. As long as nothing else is offered with a request behind it, you're probably fine.
All right.
I would assume. But maybe common sense is the best rule. But food and the like, probably
All right.
fine. It's just awfully strange. It's so quiet out there. And she'll kind of just absentmindedly pick up the jug of water and pour herself a cup and then turn to face out.
I look up. What do I see?
You see the at this point blue skies, a few clouds. You don't see a sun yet. It hasn't made it over the the tree line.
But it just looks like a normal everyday sky.
Yep.
I'd say I'd
The-
sense I'd
the
sense
mist
the
that had-
weather, but I don't think there's a point.
The mist around as now it's thinning out and such as the morning kicks in more.
It's disconcerting how normal it all looks. Are we just supposed to wait for him to come?
Probably. That was the general vibe that I got, was that we just had to wait.
He
And-
did say not to leave, right?
So not to leave the
Yeah,
circle,
Yeah,
the clearing.
stay within the clearing. Don't wander off.
Remember, guest rights until we leave. If you recall, I was trying to be fairly careful in how I phrased it. There's a reason I forced him to confirm that it was the Ashen Lady offering her hospitality and not just Flix. It's not quite the same. In Catel's home, if Catel offered it, your father would likely honor it. Yes?
Yeah. He would be a little. He would go overboard on honoring it.
So here, it's not the same. If Flix offered, he would do his best, but it's not. He wouldn't deny her choice, her rule. But if she's offered, well, generally speaking, we're fairly safe.
Does
So
that mean
it's
until we
Rickroll.
leave the circle or until we leave whatever's going on here?
I'm trying to think back to how I phrased it.
That was a whole week ago.
I know,
I've
but
slept
words are important.
many nights since then.
I'd be inclined to say, as long as we are within the circle, is the safest best. If we can get it confirmed again once we get to the court, that would be safer than just assuming. The Rum Court it's built on tests to a certain extent. All of them are, but each different. Last night's situation could have easily been one of those tests to see what we could do, but no true harm would have come to us and when it looked like possibly it could, that's when things changed. So there's always a chance where we just need to be careful.
Sounds a lot like just a regular court.
I wouldn't know.
Mm.
But it's probably more honest and also more dishonest.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or
What?
more honest but less true, or the other way around.
You're starting to talk my head in circles.
I was like,
and I consider
just
myself
speaking
a
in
smart
riddles
guy.
here now.
Yeah.
Then you're actually quite better prepared for what it's like among the Fae.
I say we go
what you're
and get
saying
out of there
is
as
I'm
quick
gonna
as
have a
possible.
perpetual- Fair. But what you're saying is I'm going to have a perpetual headache the entire time we're here.
Possibly. Just think of it this way. Everything you say or everything they say is truthful, at least as far as they know. If they say they would kill you, they mean it. Doesn't mean they'll do it right now. Doesn't even mean they'll do it in the next 20 or 30 years. Fae are patient, and they're also chaotic and impatient. They conflict a lot. But the Autumn Court is more inclined towards seeing how far your fear will push you and how far you'll keep going to overcome it. The strong face their fears and they move past it. Every court has those two sides. It's neither good nor bad. It just is.
What kind of rule did the lady who held your court, what kind of leader was she?
We've never actually met her. Technically. I mean, sort of, not really. Don't really know her. Just lived there. But it's a place of hope. But it's also a place of every whim could either easily be fulfilled. Think of Wynn, and everyone there is just like her. It's not about good or bad. It's about making what you want happen and making what those you care about happen, what they want. It's that true desire that is not bad or wrong or anything. It's just achieving it. So everything you hope for is capable there if you're willing to do what it takes to get it.
It sounds a whole lot better than the Autumn Court, that's for sure.
I don't know. They all have their sort of beauty, I say. Wynn is wonderful and I love her, but she's incredibly selfish. She doesn't think how things will affect others unless she cares about them. In the Autumn Court, I would suppose if your goal is to prove that you can push through anything, that makes you incredibly strong. Look how far we've all come. If anything, maybe that's why we've drawn her attention.
I'd
I
really
don't
like
know.
to know why she wants us.
Well, I
I'm
suppose
quite curious about that as well.
it might just be curiosity. It might be that she actually has a question or a desire for us to do something for her.
That's scary.
It doesn't seem likely she'd bring us all the way there just to kill us, especially when it seems we're already dead.
It might be of interest just to see if we would survive if she decided to put us up against something else. I'm sorry, I can't give you the answers you want. I can only tell you truthfully what I know and what I guess. And you'll notice every time she's not certain about something, she's very clear to say, I don't know. I'm trying just to what she's assuming, what she's guessing.
It sounds like we shouldn't expect anything that we're used to expecting from people, and yet expect everything that they're capable of.
DM, it's not that it's a cruel place. I mean, it is in the sense that it's everywhere can be, but it's not an intentional cruelty. It's driven by other things.
Yeah, no, they're not
nature.
driven. Like morality is not
No.
our concepts of beyond.
That's why she keeps saying it's not good or bad, guys. It's just it is.
I mean,
each
that's like
court is different.
what separates them from the mortals is that it's their nature. That's just what they
Yeah.
are. There is no morality tied to it.
I just don't like that it's based off
Mortals
of fear.
have choice.
But it's not just fear. It's fear is a tool. It's a gift. If you're not afraid, you are potentially walking into something without caution.
Yes, but for someone to rule by fear and instilling fear, that just doesn't seem right to me. I just don't agree with it.
And yet you work for a man like Fisk.
And you know why? I had to do the thing with Fisk.
But that's fear.
It
makes
wasn't
so different?
fear.
At least.
Mine
at
wasn't
least the
out of
courts are
fear.
honest.
Mine was out of, I was protecting the mentor that I loved because he was the one that took the accord.
Because you feared for him. That's why you had to protect him. There are different types of fear.
Yes,
Not
they're
all
separate.
That's
That's fine.
I
You
think
win.
I agree with
I'm
Lexi.
not gonna fight out about this.
The greatest leaders I've known haven't led by fear. Sure, an iron fist is good to keep the population under control, but it's compassion and justice that makes a good leader to me, not fear. I mean, fear is the you're afraid of something bad happening to you.
And has she not been compassionate? She's
I think
given us tents.
she almost got us killed. I'm still boiling over about that. We got guest rights and she's sending her dogs to come get us. Sorry, whatever those things were, those tentacle
I
things.
never said she sent them. I said there's a possibility that they were meant to test our mettle, but
if
they
we
would have
had
never
guest
killed
rights,
us.
I don't know if you can know that for sure. I was pretty close to killing you and Dodger.
And they stopped. You have to understand you're not in the mortal realm anymore. Your rules, your morals, they don't apply.
Right,
Here,
but you were.
It is what you live by, the words of your mouth and the actions of your arm.
But I
just thought we'd be safe.
That's
guest rights. That's
Then
just
you
the
are a
whole thing
fool.
I'm hung up on.
Guest rights do not mean safety.
I
They
thought it was
mean-
relative comfort and leisureliness.
Guest rights mean that you are likely that your guest, your host, will not cause your demise. It does not mean that you won't be tested, that you won't be entered into games, that you won't take part in games. What if you went to someone's house and you played in a festival tournament and you were injured? Would you blame the village that you were visiting?
But that was my choice to join in the festivities.
Yeah, I don't know.
We had no choice in that. We were being attacked. We didn't have a choice to join that. It just happened.
You're speaking under the assumption that she sent them.
It was a possibility. All she said was it was a possibility that we could have been tested. It could have been it's a possibility.
I will say again, those creatures were not of her court. They're of no court. They're just fae. There are some that don't ascribe to either one. I said it last night.
If she had
Likely,
the power
if
to...
she wanted to do something like that, she would wait until her whole court could watch us fight. And it's not just physical fear. The Fae are good at mind games. If we go in there this divided, we're going to have a problem.
I understand where Bellamy is coming from. He sees it as, if we're guests, we should have been protected and there should have never been a fight. No, but he thinks...
If she's strong enough to send him away, she's strong enough to keep him away.
Exactly. Yes, I do understand what you're saying.
They would not come any closer. They wouldn't dare. That actually makes me more afraid of how questionable is her control in this area. If they can get past her, if they are bold enough to just try, there might be something more going on here that we don't understand. I know there was back home.
Look, as someone who has spent several years in the presence of lawyers, my advice, don't make prejudgments before you have all the facts.
I don't know if I can help myself. I've got a pretty bad idea about this Ashen lady off the bat.
And it may be that somebody is manipulating the situation against her.
Time will tell. I'm okay with second chances.
So that's the bigger question. If we're asked to help in some fashion, are we willing to do so?
Depends on what she's offering. Is it us getting back to our bodies? Is it getting us back with Wynn? We don't know. We won't know until we're in the situation.
Or is it helping Cedric?
Exactly.
I'm going to peek into the tent where Cedric is. Is he still praying?
What is Cedric doing?
Turning to smoke. I don't know. I see smoke going across the street. I'm like, he's ashed out. No, I was kidding.
Oh yeah, what's that about?
I don't want to.
Atmosphere.
I want to know, and I don't want to know.
Atmosphere.
As long as just a warning fog.
What's been going on?
Warning fog.
So what is Cedric doing?
What's been happening on Cedric's end? Just nothing, or
Nothing, just quiet prayer.
Yeah, he was probably praying, trying to sing a hymn until his voice disappeared. So
Is his voice gone now?
No, it's still there.
Okay.
Yep, everything will be well. So
Where the hell is Flix?
I know. We're just sitting here totally just. I was waiting for this guy.
It's not that he isn't scared. It's just that he has faith.
Hello?
Sorry, my phone is going crazy.
Out of the forest, you see a figure approach. That figure is Flix.
Okay. Does he say something?
You will in just a second. So he walks forward, stands just beyond the tents, and motions.
Is it really Flex?
You
Or is
see this-
something pretending to be him?
I think it's him. So I'm gonna start grabbing all of the last bits of the roast that's still left over and shoving it in my bag.
He likes to
And-
hear himself talking. He's not talking. Is it really?
well,
how-
he's not. He's still. He's not in conversation range.
Okay.
I think Bellamy will run into Cedric's tent, start gathering things, kind of letting him know that we're making moves.
Cedric, how many enters your tent?
Hey,
It's-
Flix, he's beckoning us out into the woods again. You're coming with us, right?
So Cedric's been praying for a while. I guess he's looking for guidance here. Is Aranos still staticky absent, or
Yeah,
that
you've
kind
not heard anything since that last.
Okay, since that a little bit.
Yep.
He's silent for now.
I'm just gonna start collecting your things.
The figure's head moves to the side, nods, goes back forward.
Bellamy will go fold his clothes up.
Now his clothes are in him.
Cedric, sorry, I need to get your clothes to carry him. And we gotta go, right? So would you mind standing up?
Hang on. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Can I roll religion or something?
What are you pursuing?
I don't know. Guidance.
Help.
Some help.
Still a small voice of direction,
Yeah.
intention.
Checking in with the boss man, saying that there is a certain path that should be followed in some way.
That's a good roll.
I have no idea what that's gonna do.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe this was for me. Maybe this
Yeah.
was for me. Cedric rises. His arms clasped in front of him, and head bowed. Can't tell if he's looking at you or not.
Okay, I'm gonna grab his clothes. Now what about your sword there? You said not to touch it, but you can't carry that.
Bellamy notices too as he goes to gather his clothes, as he draws closer to Cedric, that feels chill across his skin. Not damaging, but it's much colder.
It may harm you.
Was that English? Sorry, I actually didn't hear what you said.
It may harm you.
Did Cedric say that?
Yes.
Or
It's not
I'm just, I don't know if that whisper came from someone else. It's just such a strange intonation. Right, I'm not gonna touch you. It looks like you're right. Right, I'll be careful. But the sword there, I can carry it. touch it with bare flesh?
Do not touch it with bare flesh.
Sorry. I'm gonna turn my volume
I
up.
misheard that as well. I was like, shouldn't it be the opposite?
Touch it with your bare flesh. Let's
Stab yourself with it.
new Cedric, new me.
Bobby puts the sword right up on his face. Oh, I feel weird. All right. I guess I'll use Cedric's clothes as a sort of wrapping and try to wrap the sword up as best I can. And I don't know. We don't have bags or anything, so I guess I'm gonna have to carry this pretty carefully. With his clothes as a sort of barrier.
I'm gonna stage whisper from now on, by the way. But imagine it just being like a little leaf on a breeze.
Sure. Oh, do you have a sheath for this thing?
No, I don't actually. I never got around to getting one.
Normally he's been carrying it like with just a piece of leather wrapped around a part of it, and then he kind of ties it, and that's how he carries. But there's no scabbard or anything for it.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have to be mighty careful with this. And you are coming, right? I mean, Flix is here. We're going. We're headed out.
He bows his head. Yes, I will come.
All right. We're worried about you, Cedric. And Belmy will walk out with his stuff.
To no one in particular in the room, maybe to himself, he says, "All will be well." And then he passes through the door.
The rest of you doing?
Waiting for everybody.
You're gathering.
else.
I know Dodger's getting all the stuff. He's putting in the meat sacks. So that's keeping him busy. What are the rest of you doing?
Just waiting for
Now, Lorna,
everybody.
yeah, because you came back after you did your circle around. So yeah, you're there. That's me. Well, eventually, the meat is put away. Cedric emerges from the tent.
And then Dodger keeps comments all to his lonesome.
He is pure energy at this point. He's glowing
Yep.
purple form.
He has that moment of just looks over and just kind of eyes go wide, and he just kind of nope, thought better of it, and finishes packing up, and it's like, all right, everyone ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this, right?
All right.
As we move forward, if it seems that we're getting more into the Fae and less into whatever this area is that we are in, like once it's more noticeably Autumn Court, because I assume Lorna still has her cloak, because that would have been on her anyway. Is that she's going to push that more back so that her armor is showing. So, and her bow is in her hand, just casually in her hand. It's just it.
All right. As you gather, if anybody, one of you probably would, takes kind of glances back, the campsite is gone. There's no sign that you had ever been there. He actually, Flix turns as you start to approach and kind of says, "She will see you now." And moves not too far in the trees. And as you follow, there's just this door, an old, faded wood, grayish wood door. And he goes up to it and he stands and motions.
Last chance.
Is there anywhere else to go?
Do we have any choice?
I think we're committed at this point. Let's do
After
it.
you.
I'll go
Alright
through the
then.
door.
As you
I
start to
grab
approach,
him and pull him
he
back.
grabs you. Flicks kind of stops and turns back. Always choice. And he holds his hand up and he waves it down, and you see a window appear, and your broken and shattered bodies laying at the bottom of a cavern. And he gestures to each, the door and the window.
I like door option. Better than that.
I can't do that to my father. And I will walk through the door.
Kel approaches the door. Lorna, grab her. Get one. Foot on another.
As she walks by, interesting. Here is different for everyone. And I'll follow her through. Or if we can walk together, just basically right together.
Dodger's following, but just kind of staring of like, double standards? Fine.
Because if I went through first, she would have done the same to me.
Oh, if Catella tried to do it before the secondary offer was made, she would have done it to
Yeah.
Catella as well.
Yeah, we'll
that's
see.
totally fair. Dodger doesn't have that high of an
Always
insight, though.
choices.
Bellamy's gonna look at Cedric. You're going in, rat.
Cedric has drifted towards the window, and is peering through. And the head pivots towards you, Belmy. And he looks towards the door, and he says, "Faith," and begins walking towards the door.
Faith, I guess. Belmy walk through the door.
Yeah,
Lexi?
Cedric follows.
Okay. I go through the
Hmm.
door.
All right. Tal'Dorei book
We're
came in.
back.
Now I
Yeah,
want
he
to
got the
Hi.
Tal'Dorei book. Hi, everybody, we're back.
Yeah, hi.
Hello, welcome back. All right. When we left off, the group had entered through the door that stood solitary in the autumn wood. When the door opens, it's a darkened hallway with a gray, worn wooden floor, with gray, worn wooden walls, and a gray, worn wooden ceiling. It is 5 feet wide, 10 feet high, and extends for a great distance. Every 10 feet, there's a sconce along the wall with a set of 3 candles that burn on each side of the hallway.
Does the worn look intentional or not intentional? Like it's part of
mean-
an aesthetic versus
You
something.
mean like did the fixer-uppers get there and kind of do their shabby chic
Yeah,
thing?
yeah,
No.
yeah.
No.
No, so it's not a part of an aesthetic.
It feels old. As you come in, it feels old.
Okay,
It feels decayed. It feels weathered and worn.
Okay, but we don't know if that's because it's the autumn court or if something else is going on.
So from what Lorna has shared with you, the autumn court, it doesn't rule by fear, it rules fear. The
Sorry, that was me misreading a note.
Yeah,
I
it's okay.
apologize, guys.
It's
but then
okay,
I was
'cause
trying to
I was
fix it,
funneling
and
it.
I
Yeah, I was
was
funneling stuff, and you guys are asking stuff. It's just trying to get it all
literally
out. So.
literally the chat to me from Steve is like 4 or 5 pages. It's like I'm like, oh, this is all stuff I should know.
Yeah, and then I accidentally put down that the Winter Court was compassion, and I'm like, no,
Nope.
it's a mistype.
No,
was like-
no.
That's a typo.
I've read Dresden. I know better.
Yeah,
Um,
this was me, a lot of Dresden, a lot of my own Fey knowledge, a lot of Shakespeare, and a lot of Amanda just trying to cover and make sure and watching Steve's face to make sure she didn't go off the rails. Until I got message. That was a lot of just improv.
Yeah, there. Yes,
and
that was
watching
very
Steve,
well
and I
done.
would watch
Yes.
Steve go
You did awesome.
like that. And he'd start typing, and I'd be like,
Fantastic.
I'm gonna milk this for a few seconds, guys. Sorry.
So
wonderful role play.
there's
It's a little behind the scenes.
person.
Sorry, little behind the scenes of when you and the DM don't have a conversation you probably should have. But
Yes.
somebody mentioned we wouldn't be delving into my backstory anytime soon. So choices were made. Choices were made.
Choices were made. Mortals.
Anyway,
So yes, rules fear, perseverance and such is out there. It's the so even courage is founded in fear because courage is not the absence of fear; it's the ability to push forward through it. And so that also sits at that part. Death is a big part of the autumn core. If you think about like the time of the year, that's when things are dying, and but it's part of a cycle. So they tend to take it as it's a natural order of things. And so death is not dark and evil. Death is just another step as the wheel turns. So so as you come into that, so it's that sense of just old and weathered that you get, and a dog that barks in the distance. Or is that a dog? We don't know. Extends.
Tommy is at maximum fear right now.
to be fair, even if, and that was what Lauren was trying to go for, of like fear isn't necessarily bad. Of there's good reasons behind, and so that's what she was
Katala
trying.
was totally picking up what you were throwing
I
down.
was trying to get to it without being like super obvious, and then I was like, well, actually, this is great though, because people do view fear so differently depending on your own views, and so it was very interesting to see.
Yeah.
I
have a
loved it.
Quick question, DM. Did we die on my birthday? On Catel's birthday? We never established exactly the
On the-
day. I'm just curious.
We're also taking damage and hungry, so I don't know if death is the right word.
You know,
but
let's not know that. I don't know if it's been her birthday yet.
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't
keep
know. We'll have
track.
to establish that. Yeah,
There's a
I
dead
don't think we ever.
bodies, so I would say, you know, it's a definite possibility.
No,
that it could have been
there's
her birthday.
broken bodies.
Yeah.
And,
We'll see.
You know, this is a world of magic.
Once I know I'm back in my body and I'm alive, then I'll
I was
just-
just curious to know if we had died on her birthday, because that would be that's anyway, that's a
That'd be pretty
conversation.
twisted. Yeah.
That's my personal dream. I want to die on my birthday. I think it would
Okay,
be
Mark
cool.
Twain.
Yeah. Wow.
So did Shakespeare. He died on his birthday.
Well, debatable. We
Well, I
think it was
mean-
his birthday. Mark Twain, we actually know. Haley's
I
comment.
just think it would be fun. Anyway, I was just
Okay.
curious.
So sconces every 10 feet with 3 candles.
Yes.
And the decay looks
candles
like
on
And
it's
each
decay
side.
looked on each side. Okay. And
The
it
decayed look,
and it
then
keeps going.
continues on. You see lights like till it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller in the distance.
Okay. I'm assuming we keep going. I'm in the back, so
Catel's in the front.
Yeah, I'm just following Flix at this point and looking around.
Flix didn't go in.
Oh,
He
great. So I'm
didn't?
just walking.
I so would have said something to him before I went through. Then, darn, I thought
Yeah.
I thought he led through. Okay,
No, he was standing there pointing at your 2 options, and
and he's not behind
No.
me. Oh,
now as you turn around, you see the hallway going the other direction.
oh, okay.
So I'm just going to pretend I'm my buddy
Matrix.
back in Anemos and walk with a confidence I do not have. just pretend I know what I'm doing because now I'm in more of his world than where I came from. So she's gonna mimic him.
Do me a favor, everybody make a resolve check.
Do our afflictions from being stressed, when do they leave us?
They, when you heal them, but you must be in a non-stressful environment.
Okay.
But they will
So
they'll naturally pass.
Even the positive ones?
Or if in positive ones too, or Lorna can get rid of it with restoration, the lesser restoration.
Oh, would I have then gotten rid of it with? Oh, I guess it's only one thing.
Yeah, it's only one. Yes, Dodge.
Question with the stresses that we have, am I rolling with disadvantage, a minus, because that will not show up
You
for me?
are rolling. Let me find you because I got something in front of your face right now.
Oh boy, guys.
Did you draw that circle over Cedric?
Very strange. Can also, is it a resolve save or is it a check?
Dodger, you have advantage on resolve checks.
Okay.
What was your question?
Is it a resolve check or save?
Save.
Oh, then I need to read.
I just rolled resolve.
I was getting ready to roll
Thank
a
you for
save,
clarifying.
and then I saw everybody rolling checks, and I was very confused.
I am sorry. And now that I think about it, I think I said
it's
check.
the drop down menu.
Okay, so abilities.
Saving throw.
And I don't believe I'm proficient in resolve.
Okay,
no, I am proficient in resolve. So would that be?
I did not roll any better. I rolled one better.
Guys, this is bad.
Hey.
Okay, I did okay.
Should I have all my edge back?
Yeah.
Right, we get.
You
our
got
edge
edge back. I gave it. Yeah, when before you got on, I gave.
Yeah, she did it.
Everybody their edge back.
Okay, I'm just checking. Can I edge it?
Yeah, if you like.
Yeah, I want to edge it. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Because.
So for saving throws, that's where the proficiency comes in. Yeah. Okay. So that's a D4.
Yeah, it should prompt you for that too. So
Good edge.
I forgot. Yeah, you do yours there. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you're good.
So she freaks out for half a second and then
so worth it.
So Cedric's got an edge too.
Home.
Yeah.
Now Cedric, Marion, because you got the same thing, so you get
advantage.
Yeah.
That's a 20 total.
Nice.
That makes me
it's
very
20
happy.
total.
20
All right,
total.
let me look. Okay.
It was either a 1 or an 18. I will take the 18.
Well, clearly, yeah. If
Plus
you got
2
options
from proficiency, so I'll take that.
Let me scroll up to when this all started. Okay, Lorna. 2 stress.
We didn't get any stress back during our long rest, did we?
No, it was not a stress-free night.
Okay, then I am taking another.
You're going into another tier?
I've got 2 dots filled in.
Dots. Now. Okay, so you're gonna get another affliction, but sit tight on that. And we'll check and see what that is. Lexi, you're fine. Cedric, well, that's fine until he spent an edge. Catel's great.
Yeah, she's channeling her.
I rolled a 2 plus 2. I got a 4 because I was proficient, so I rolled the.
Okay. You take 4 stress. Catel's fine. Dodger's fine. Cedric is not fine after the reroll. Cedric takes 6 stress.
I just went over.
Not good.
Okay, so who's got? So what you want to do is if you go over, you check a box off and then set it back to where it was at. All right, so who's got a dot now?
I already had one.
Yeah, I mean a new one, not a. All right.
I got a new one.
Okay, so for Bellamy, can you see that on my screen?
I can.
Yes. It says an affliction of stress-induced mental issues suffered by character.
Mania.
11
All
mania.
Right. Basically, it's not as dramatic. You have disadvantage on all attack rolls.
Really dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great, but it's
Yeah.
very
You have
dramatic
disadvantage
looking.
on all attack rolls until that is cured. And
Why is the chart just a D19 and not a D20?
because there's only 19 options and it just randomly rolls between them.
Why
Could I
wouldn't they
could I
just-
make up a 20th
Yeah,
one?
why wouldn't it just be a 20?
Yeah, like the 20 be
Us
like
the-
going, wow, nothing happens.
It's like 20. Instant death.
No.
You got it. It's going in. Okay.
No.
Next session.
Rude.
I think
All
I'd,
right.
I'd
Really
say
want to have to
Lorna.
make new characters? Is that really what you want to
this
do,
is-
DM?
It's funny. So Lorna got standoffish.
Okay.
So nothing
Great.
changed.
I will say nothing's gonna change on that.
Oh, no, guys, I now have disadvantage on influence checks and saves.
Oh shoot.
And I'm the one with
Oh,
experience here.
Oh,
Great.
oh crap, with where we're
That's-
going. Shoot.
All right. So that's where you're at. As you're getting as this just the stress of the moment, it just keeps building, and you're just starting to affect you. So as you continue down this long, barely lit passageway, eventually you do see where it comes to an intersection. You start to see an intersection approaching. And in the center of this, it actually opens up into a space about 20 by 20, where the hallway that you're in continues straight ahead, but there's a hallway to the right and the left as well. So they all kind of intersect at this point with a 20 by 20 foot room. In this room, it looks like a Victorian parlor with chairs and small little tables. Kind of gathered around. There's a big chandelier that hangs from the ceiling, which is raised at this point. It raises up to 20 feet here as well. There are cobwebs all over it. There is dust covering everything. And you see there is a woman, a beautiful woman with pale skin and dark hair, sitting in a chair, reading a book. Hasn't seemed to notice your approach. Her outfit is very much like Victorian design, but it's black, complete with gloves that cover her hands. All you see is just her neck, the top of her neck and her face.
I kind of just walk in and make room for everybody to enter and sort of glance at Lorna, who was behind me, because I don't know who looks like what in any of these nature courts. So I'm kind of looking to her for guidance.
I apologize. I was off of the Sirenscape
I
to.
was very confused by music. I was like,
Oh, I have it turned. I turned it down. I forgot to turn it back up.
I was off to get that link to send it, and I'm like, oh, and I kind of like here, and I'm like, oh, this
Like,
it's so festive.
okay, so it's not such a bad like.
I was like, I feel like we're being put into a false sense of security right now.
Is music playing right now?
Yeah,
Very light.
quiet.
It's very quiet.
It's very light.
Broke.
Very light.
After a moment of hesitation, actually, before she goes anywhere, she's gonna look around the room. Do I see Wynn anywhere? Flick
do not.
said that Wynn was with the Autumn,
Mhm.
with the Ashen Lady.
Mhm. No, there's nobody else in this room other than this lady.
I'm gonna close my eyes for just a moment and call and just say quiet in my head. Wynn, are you there?
You hear a sigh of relief.
What took you so long?
Well, it's been a journey. I'm eyes open again, watching the lady at the end of the hall,
She's just
just to make sure. Any
Reading.
warnings? Any warnings I should know before speaking to her?
Guard your words.
No kidding. And stand up straight and walk in.
Okay. Step into the room. The rest of you
Follow suit.
follow suit. Step in. Lady continues to read as if she has not noticed your presence.
As I get to the end of the hall, like maybe, is she up on a dais or dais?
Nope,
Is it
she's just sitting up.
in a chair.
She's sitting in a chair next to like a little small table. You see that on the table there's looks to be like a little teapot and some teacups and such, but covered in webs and dust and such.
I believe you sent for us, my lady.
She lifts her head up. I beg your pardon.
Did you not send for us? Or did one you serve not send for us?
Who is it that you think I serve?
I assume either you are or you do serve the Ashen Lady.
Oh no, I am not her. Nor do I serve her. I'm merely a guest.
I see. Pardon my mistake.
Is
I haven't
this
spent any time here.
a waiting room? Or
What language is she speaking? Out of curiosity.
Yes.
all
Good
the languages
question.
at once?
Great. All right. This should be fun.
I'm like, wait,
Um,
what language am I hearing it in though? Do I need a roll?
Your primary.
Okay.
The one that you talk to yourself in your head in.
Oh, probably wouldn't be Catel's primary then. She's
Whatever
not
that
used-
one is. Yeah.
She's not used to her primary anymore.
It's been pig Latin for so many years.
All this time.
Yeah.
The only thing she wants to speak anymore.
Okay, and they ole.
I look around. Does it look like it's just like a reception room, a waiting room, like
It just looks like a reading room of sorts.
I look
Like
down.
it looks very out of place here at the intersection of these halls. Yes, Dodger.
So you mentioned that it was kind of like a parlor or a drawing room. Now, of what scale of like finery is this in? Because you've got a parlor, which is like middle class kind of situation.
It's
or
about
is
middle
it
class.
drawing room, upper class.
Middle class, but again, very dusty and web covered. Just
Of course.
as if it had been abandoned for ages.
But the lady herself
Is not.
is not
She's
like
dressed in black.
She's just
She's
pristine.
dressed in black, but she looks very clean
Victorian.
and, yes.
Okay.
High class Victorian.
High class Victoria.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Can I peer down these halls and just see if I can see anything?
It's as if you're looking down the same hall in each direction.
Does it matter which one we go? Or do we wait here?
Do you seek the Ashen Lady?
We do. Can I ask who it is that we have the pleasure of speaking to?
Yes, of course. I am Vivain.
I'm sorry.
Vivain.
Vivain.
Vivain or the vein?
Vivaine. Vivain.
Oh, I have to add an E at the end.
That's right. Fancy.
I wrote it down, guys.
That's what I'm doing.
It's the first word in this book.
Do I Do I get a vibe that this person is Fae, or are they like more like me?
Make an arcana check with your bonus.
What's my bonus? What?
All right, so look on your sheet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you see where your skills are?
Hang on.
They're under abilities.
Yes. Oh, skill
Okay.
focus there.
Yes, if you go all the way to the bottom, those skill focuses,
Uh-huh.
those are special, like deeper dives into those skills. So
Okay.
if you're ever doing checks based on those things, you get a +2.
So do I use item to roll this from there,
Yeah,
or do I use
and when
Arcana?
no, you use the Arcana
Mm-hmm. And then +2.
and then you add a +2. I don't know why that's set for nature. That should be Arcana.
Not bad.
She is Fae.
I was guessing so.
There's always that just something just appears to be
Right.
mortal, but there's just something not quite, just always just off.
The face is way too symmetrical.
I'll bow slightly. I'm Lorna.
Returns.
We were sent for, I believe. The lady sent one of her vassals to come find us and bring us here.
Then I suggest you make haste.
Could you perhaps point us in the correct direction?
There is one.
She turns and motions towards the hall to her left.
Insight check.
Go for it.
As my word choice was maybe not great.
With that and with the stress, do I have advantage, disadvantage? Not advantage, but do I have disadvantage on this check? Because I can't see that
Oh, let me.
due to my stress, where it's currently at.
Oh, did you pick up another level of stress? I only have
I
one
have
affliction
2.
down. Oh, I don't. I only have
2
one.
dots full.
Yeah, but I only have one affliction on your sheet.
You only have one on mine too, but that's because one of them actually isn't a bad one. So I don't know if that's why.
I saw 2 on yours.
When I looked before. No, I just
Where'd
have
it go?
standoffish. I don't know. I'm just telling you. I don't know. It's just gone.
Oh. All right.
I don't even know what mine is. I have 1 dot. I don't think mine was.
Yours healed.
Yeah, I'll say
Yours,
mine was
because you got your
temporary, I
one
thought.
before. It
Okay.
healed, but you still carry the dot.
Gotcha.
And
know I
Dodger, same
had-
thing. You got one, went away, but you still have the dot.
Okay. Because I know the first one I got was standoffish.
Yeah, that went away
Okay.
during the deathscapades. Yeah. Yeah, that went away. But this one only gives you advantage on resolve checks and saves. That's it.
Okay, cool. Then 13.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing about her that indicates that she, and you recall Lorna telling you Faye cannot lie.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean much. She did say that in the conversation this morning, and so I'm very confused, and I trust nothing.
He's saying your hair is just a little flickering up a bit.
Well, another small bow. Thank you. Enjoy your book.
Thank you.
And I'll start walking down the hall.
Give a nod and follow.
Can I tell what she's reading?
Oh no, here we go.
So as you
Amanda
as
wants
you
to
guys-
know, but Lorna would not pay
I
necessarily.
would. I'd be like, what are you reading?
Yeah, the player is going, watch, it's nothing but smut.
Yeah. As you're making your way through and kind of looking at, but she actually closes the book up and she stands and turns to go down a different hallway. And as she turns her back, you see the entire back of her is completely missing. It's like all hollowed out.
Oh, weird.
That's weird. All right.
A visitor from the
I'm-
Winter Court.
I'm gonna glance behind me at the rest of them.
I'm gonna like jerk my head like, oh, let's go.
And as they get closer, just a small hint. Just because they can't lie doesn't mean they like being stared at.
I wasn't staring at her until she turned around. I was looking at the book.
They also have very good hearing. Come on.
Okay.
And I'll keep moving.
Okay. Continuing on, as you're walking along now, this hallway for a bit of ways kind of mirrors the entry hallway, but then after about 5 minutes or so, it starts to there's doors that are on each side. Some are open, some closed. And as you walk by and glance in, you see through one doorway, there's looks to be a cemetery that's gathered out there, and there's a large group of figures gathered around with umbrellas and such held up, and over what appears to be the fresh grave that's been dug there's somebody on their hands and knees kind of sobbing. And as you get there, you see this figure with a dressed all in black, still carrying the umbrella out there, is wearing a plague mask, kind of walks forward and puts this long, overly long claw-like hand onto her shoulder as if in comfort. Continue on. You hear like almost like wicked laughter from a room on the right. The door is closed, but you hear several voices and they're laughing, cackling almost. Further still, you come to what looks to be a large room with a banquet table gathered out. The door's open, and there is an entire group of people seated in each chair, but they're all skeletons, but they're moving and going through the motions of feasting and such. And as you kind of look in, they're glancing, they all just stop and all the heads turn as one to look at you in the doorway. And they freeze.
Just give him a nod like I've seen my friend do and keep going.
As you give a nod, they suddenly just all collapse into piles of bones. The dishes, the drinks, they're all just fall to the floor and shatter, and they're just now just wine or drink gets spilled everywhere, food laying there, and they're just now just piles of bones.
Just keep walking.
Yep, Dodger's eyes get wide, and then he just kind of shoves his hands in his pockets and just keeps walking.
Oh yeah. Before we went through the door, I would have put the amulet back in my little pocket.
Okay.
I
They get their
forgot.
hands on it.
Forgot.
Okay.
Forgot.
Yes, Lexi.
How is Cedric looking? Is he still just a purple?
Shimmering.
He is still a shimmering form.
Okay.
Before, like, you know, as he was moving along, he was walking, like, in all sense of purposes, he'd look like basically a humanoid shape that's interacting with the world as such. When you look at him now, though, he's no longer walking. His feet are just kind of dragging across the floor. And the Cedric, you haven't noticed that that's even happening. You're moving. But
Yeah.
you all look and notice his feet aren't even touched. They're just above the floor.
Okay.
Cedric still has his hands clasped in front of him. Impossible to say where he's looking.
Yes.
He's still
impossible.
quietly praying and speaking as he does this, or is it entirely internally?
It might have been audible before, but definitely not now.
Okay.
Okay.
You continue on further, and there's a set of double doors that are cast wide open, and this warm light coming out of it, like a fire, like looks like the flickering of a fireplace.
And
That's
this is
the
the
one.
end of the hall.
These are on the
or-
sides.
Side,
These are as
okay.
as you're walking on
No,
different
I knew
sides.
the other ones was. I was making sure this one.
Yeah,
was
this one
clear.
also is on the side. It is opened up, and glancing in, you see how do I do this PG?
All right.
Same PG
If there are any
13.
kids watching right now,
Raise
Go
your
find your
hand.
parents.
Move your
Get a drink of
headphones.
water.
I give the
It's what-
hearts.
it's what we're
time
all
to
thinking. Move between behind the
I mean,
curtain.
PG 13.
All right, I'll go to a certain point, and so there's in this room there looks to be these small, I'd say 3 foot tall, squat, bestial humanoid looking things with long ears and big noses and beards on their chin that are white. They're naked except for loincloths that they're wearing around them and such, which they have various like cleavers and knives shoved into, and they're kind of skipping about and cackling as they're dancing around this figure who's chained up to the ceiling out there, who has had his entire torso pulled open, and
Okay.
insides are just kind of like there, and he's chained up and he's laughing too. And they're dancing around, and
All right.
that would
Breakfast
be
is
a
coming
resolve
up.
save.
Breakfast is coming up.
Okay, that's a resolve save, folks.
Resolve save.
I was going to say, as that view happens, actually, probably at the skeletons, Lorna would have triggered her ability to try and calm everyone down. as
Okay,
much as she
so that gives advantage, right?
can. To everyone except for me, I think.
All right, so everybody has advantage.
No.
Oh,
Hang on. Let me look at the spell. Give me what the ability. Hang on. I got to get to it. Where is it? There it is. Because I think it's a resolve saving throws advantage. Yes, everybody except for me, I guess.
Okay.
I already had it, apparently.
Odd cue. Boom! My screen explodes with dice.
I need to roll mine, but give me a second. to flip it back.
Alrighty.
Um,
Let me get back up here to the top. All right, Bellamy is in
I rolled a 10 and a
trouble.
2. Yeah.
Y'all are doing great. I am a mess.
Hold on, I gotta get back up to Bellamy. All right, Cattell, you're good. Cedric's fine. Lexi, you're fine. Lorna, you are not. How'd you do, Dodger?
14.
You're good. Okay.
Okay.
So who did I say is bad?
Bellamy and Laura, I think.
This one's not as bad. This is a 1 pointer, 1 point of stress damage.
I'm still
For
trying to hold.
everybody who failed.
I'm still trying to hold down my breakfast though. That's just
He seems to be
awful.
enjoying himself. He's fine.
That I don't want to see the insides of anybody. So yeah. I'm just turning away. Can we go? Can we go? Can we go? Can we go? Keep going.
Lorna
Yeah.
has not stopped. Lorna saw it, kept moving, and had turned back just to make sure everybody is still following with her.
Probably.
Dodger's saying Lexi's not okay. He's just gonna take her hand and just gonna lead her away.
Lorna's
And
gonna
just
just
kind of
say
give a,
Let's go,
a
let's go.
reassuring squeeze.
quietly, just so the group can hear her. If it's too much for you, just stare at the floor. Or straight ahead at the person in front of you. And she just keeps going.
Continuing on, it finally, the hallway comes to a grand staircase that goes upwards and broadens out as it ascends into a larger room. Still weathered wood, cobwebs and dust. And smells of moss and mildew and old blood. Do you ascend?
Going.
Oh, I didn't know if she was sending a message or not. So I was like, oh,
No, sorry, I'm typing notes.
Okay.
'cause-
Fair.
And it's a staircase. Is that what you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a grand staircase that leads up. And so as you come out, because the hallway's been 5 feet wide, 10 feet high, it opens up where the staircase goes in. It is in a larger space.
And like, do the staircases meet? Like you said, like
No,
they round and
it's
or
one
do
that
they go
it's
opposite
one that
direction? Oh, okay.
goes wide. It's one staircase that goes wide. It
Oh,
gets
okay.
wider
Oh,
and
just
wider.
wide. Okay, not
Yeah.
like
Sorry,
one
yeah,
going
not
this way.
two. No,
Okay.
it's one going wide. I forgot. That's separate. That's the same.
It tapers upward.
Yes.
That is the phrasing you were looking for.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, moving up.
All right. These steps creak, and you can almost feel them kind of give a little under your weight as you walk up them, but they hold secure. And as you're picking it up, and the staircase extends up like many feet to where you can't see where it ends up. It's higher than your sight lines. But as you approach, you see a shape emerge at the top and begin to descend. It's a large figure, cloven hooves step onto each of the stairs. It's a figure that has again, like the cloven hooves and bottom part of definitely like you would say it's like horse leg or bull leg, but something of that nature. But the upper is definitely humanoid in nature, with a large cloak pulled over the frame. But as the figure moves, you see glints of metal armor, and on this figure's head is a great helm with large antlers built off it, and two fiery lights burning from inside. And looks to be as this figure descends more towards you, upwards of 15 feet tall.
Yeah, so intimidating. Okay. Getcha.
Drawing closer, still you see there's what looks to be the hilt of a great blade that's strapped to the back. Lorna, give me an arcana check with your bonus for your fae. Cattell, give me a history check at disadvantage.
What?
Could have used
That's
that on the
gonna be needed.
resolve, guys.
Holy crow.
Our brains just go.
Yeah, so
and
so
we
like
sync up. We sync up, and we're having a silent conversation between our brains.
Wow. Double
The
jump.
Y'all are
realization-
sharing the brain cell.
Although you
It's
cannot
awesome.
say for
Amazing.
sure, the stories you had heard and from fairy tales and books that were read to you, and the stories you had heard from the mouths of those you encountered in your past, Lorna, you feel that you're in the presence of a great fae, a fae lord. And if you had to guess, you would believe this is the Earl King.
I was wondering. As he passes, I'm going to pull back to give him as much of the staircase and just head lowered.
I do the exact same thing.
Yep, it's just this wave effect going out through the party. I believe
Hard to
that's what
see.
I'm envisioning.
Maybe all like,
One of us just reaches over.
Sees what's happening.
Like,
Still has
oh.
Lexi's hand in his, and just is like, Lexi.
What's Cedric doing?
Just floating there.
Yeah, just floating there.
He's not even on the stairs. He just floated up the side.
Yeah.
Just staring up.
Bellamy has a
So-
little rope tied to his ankle.
Is anybody looking at him?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Cedric.
I want to, yes.
I'll probably peek.
I'm telling you, I'm like this, and my eyes are like,
I
I will
mean,
say
look.
Lorna's eyes are not on the ground. They are still on him in the sense that, but she's not looking him in the eyes or anything like
no,
that. It's
I just want to like
aware.
kind of take them all in, like, whoa.
So as
This is all it looks like.
So Cedric could be blatantly gawking at him and he wouldn't even know.
So as he descends down each step, slowly creak, and the boards definitely are straining under each of
Ugh.
his steps. You feel his gaze turn and take notice of you, and he does not stop. He does not slow. He continues on, but something deep inside your subconsciousness, each of you realize that he's taken note of you, and that may not be a good thing.
Cattell,
Crap.
I'll make note because everyone was talking at the same time. Cattell was not looking at him. She had her eyes
Yeah.
glued on the floor.
That's where Dodger was at. That is big
She
scary
may
man,
not
and-
be
and I'm not about
familiar.
it.
She may not be familiar with Fae, but she is familiar with Earls and such individuals, and she's not about.
I'm too curious. I want to kind of like take him in as he goes, just like, whoa.
I think Bellamy's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Just looking at this guy.
yeah.
Shouldn't be
And
be
I'm
wrong
not-
to look.
And I'm not like staring in his eyes. I'm like, literally, I'm just like going, okay.
No, that's the
whoa.
only effect that
Okay.
passes there is that, and even those who aren't looking, you can feel the eyes on you, even though you're not looking. You just like feel like,
Crap, we're on a staircase.
and it's definitely a sense of at that moment, as his gaze passed over you and took note of you, you felt very much like prey.
Ah, crap. Yay.
But he
Uh-oh,
continues on.
Cedric's way ahead.
Another friend.
Cool.
Once he's well past us, like probably almost on the ground level, Lorna will start to take one step back up, but her head is still slightly turned, making sure that he is not changing his mind for a moment. And then once it's clear he's not, like once he was past, she would look at his, like she probably would stand up and once he's well past and watch his back just to make sure, and then lead the group further up with this just a and then here we go.
Every one of Cattell's senses, aside from just this kind of look, the side look, is pointed back at him. She has been prey before, and she is highly aware of where he is until he disappears.
Dodger's just sweating, and Lexi, you can feel
Little
Dodger's
bits of
hands
steam.
go clammy.
I'm like squeezing your hand so hard. I'm like,
Don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like it.
do I need to loosen my grip on your hand?
I don't know. It's kind of numb at the moment.
Figured you would know that, but I thought I'd just put that out there.
Yeah, nope. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
you would know.
As I've talked-
I'm assuming Cattell would as well.
It's hard. I have to base hers off of like. It's almost like her knowledge is like third hand because it's like a story, like it's stories and
then
such.
can
and
I
so,
ask, do I pick up on anybody else catching who this is?
Yes, you
Okay,
definitely
okay.
get
Well,
like.
I don't
like,
know. I didn't get to do a roll, so.
I
you
mean,
wouldn't
I'll
have
make.
any- It just
I-
had to be tied somewhere in your past that you would have pulled that information. Otherwise, it's like just like.
No
I mean,
pictures.
Somebody in
and
Petra
books or
Streets went up and
anything?
said, "Hey,
That's
look
my
at this
thing, is,
guy."
like, no pictures or books
I mean-
or anything like
I mean,
that.
I will look at Lorna like, Oh my gosh. that
There was
just
probably, I mean, I
Um,
assume the two people who really truly reacted, and well, besides Lorna, were Cattell and Dodger, and she would assume Dodger's is just doing it out of oh crap. But she knows
Yeah.
Cattell knows stories. She knows that. So I'm asking, would she catch on? You know who this is.
Does Cattell's face show that
I mean, if she gives,
there's like some
she-
sort of like she's processing like whoa.
if she catches Lorna's eye, she would definitely give her like, holy crap, I know who that was. I can't believe he's real, sort of a
It's-
thing.
She'll just quietly say, best to keep his identity to yourself, especially his name.
I don't think
Better
I
not
know.
to draw attention. Names have power.
I don't know his name. Do I? Just his title?
That's all that. Yeah, there was
One and
never,
the same.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they were.
They are the same thing.
Okay. Noted.
And then, shall we continue? Everyone all right?
Yep.
I'm a little
this is
shaken up.
fine.
Oh, if that's all you are after that, you're doing quite well.
He didn't like me.
Let's just not speak of him for now. Come on.
As you turn upstairs, you hear in the distance the thump, thump, thump.
Is it getting closer?
Growing
or
fainter
farther
and
away? Okay.
fainter and fainter.
We'll move up the stairs.
Yep.
As you go, go ahead.
I was gonna say as we go up the stairs, I was gonna say something to touch. I'm like, we haven't done anything to him. Why would he not like us already?
I don't know. I don't think you like the cut of our gin. Oh. I don't know. I just don't like it.
That's it. Okay, we go up the stairs.
Yep. We're following suit. We're walking and talking.
Yep.
All right, so as you come up to the to the top of the staircase, it actually ends on a balcony with two staircases that go down on each side, down into this large chamber with looks to be various statues and such, seem to be like carved from wood, covered in cobwebs and such, that are looks to be various states of terror and fear and such, but definitely look to be mortal human like in these statues. And they're set at regular intervals in this chamber out there, and at the far end you see there is a large chair that seems to have been grown out of wood. It's like twisted but without leaves and such, this dead tree, and there's this seat that sits empty. Above you is an overcast sky.
Oh. I'm not really sure what to do here. I'm sorry. I've never actually been to court of any kind.
Usually someone, at least back home, it'd be announced, but I have a feeling she probably already knows we're here.
I'm gonna reach out to Wynn again. As Cattell says that.
So as you reach out to her, you hear a fluttering of wings. And from above, you see Wynn.
And noticeably relax even more, even though still very tense, but smile spreads across my face. Does she look okay?
Yeah,
Is
you recover
everything-
2 points of stress.
Emotional support Faye!
That moves
my
me.
gosh. I love
That takes me all the way to the top of 13 of 13, but then I only needed 1 to do that. So
you lose a mark.
and I'm at 1 out of 13.
Okay. So you just lost an affliction.
Yay, you're not standoffish anymore.
I don't know, which one do I lose? Do I lose the bad one?
Yes.
Okay.
Just
It
in
won't,
time.
it won't let me take off the
I know.
little-
You have to
Okay.
turn the delete button on. Like at the very top, do you see show delete icons?
Oh, yeah.
If you check that, then it turns on so you can delete things. But I already deleted it for you, so it's gone.
Oh, no, I was talking about I lose the stat. I don't lose the dot.
Right. No, you lose the dot too. Click on the 1 dot. It should go
Oh,
backwards.
that cleared all of them. There, I'll add 1. Okay,
There you
we're
go.
good.
Okay. Yeah, it's like if you kind of click or you can just check off and
I tried and it wasn't doing it, so it was
Okay.
being annoying.
It's being annoying.
Does Win come to me or?
Yes, she comes fluttering down very high speed and does like a couple loops because of her momentum, and then kind of pulls up short and then lands on your on your back shoulder part and kind of then scurries up and around and kind of assumes her standard position on your shoulders, and
reach out
is kind of does a quick little skip and as she's looking at everybody.
Good to see you.
I'm glad you're okay.
I'm so happy to see you all.
We're happy to see you.
When are we dead?
That's yet to be seen.
Great.
Oh,
Cool.
I got some food for you. And I'll pull out some of the leftover breakfast and hand it over to Win.
No, thank you.
All right then.
You
Denied.
probably don't want to eat that anymore. It's from the other side.
I don't know what that means,
Dodger,
but all
look
right.
closely. Look closely at it.
It's all rotted.
Rotted, okay.
As
Well,
you
give it
see,
a
like
sniff.
I just
Give it a sniff. Now, DM.
Everybody
DM.
stalks him.
Yeah, everybody's not happy with this, but DM, is this nearly as rotted as some of the things that he has eaten in his past?
Yeah, and I swear I'm just gonna give you Iron Gut as a free trait for you.
I mean, it does fit. It does fit.
Well, it's true to form. You're always digging around into things, but it's pretty bad. And you think you see little things like squirming in it and such, and
that's the point of no for him. Like that is the line. And he just goes, "Oh, never mind. I'll find another place to dispose of this later."
give me a second. I'll make a note of that. Give Roger Iron Gut.
Yeah, I mean it fits.
Yeah,
It's
it
just-
does.
That'll be the quill. You'll get advantage on Constitution checks for consuming things.
I appreciate that. That's been a running thing with his character for a long time, so that it tracks.
Now you could go dumpster diving with confidence.
Endurance, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do we do now?
It's a great question. I suppose wait. When is this
Go down
where we
there.
should
We do go down. Okay.
all right then?
What language is he speaking in?
When?
Yeah.
She's speaking in Terran.
Okay. Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
She can. She just chooses not
She's
to.
never done it.
No.
I
Nope,
think
this is the
until
first time. Yeah, you've
now,
heard, yeah.
the only people she's talked to is obviously Lauren and a couple times with Cato.
And Cattell, she spoke Orin to Cattell.
Mhm.
I know. I can speak that too. I haven't heard anyone speak it.
Yeah, but she's this first time. Yeah, she's other. Usually it's all you know gibberish.
Yeah,
that she's
it's like
speaking.
when Wynn does it, I'm like, okay, that's new.
Yeah, Dodger doesn't realize that is something new. He just was like, "Oh yeah," and just accepted it, and hasn't quite clued in yet. We're still waiting for the coin to drop.
Glancing
Well-
at Belmy and Cedric, how are they doing at this point?
Belmy looks as perturbed as he has been. But I mean, I think he's probably fine.
Oh, Belmy.
Feel so bad for Belmy. Poor guy. He joined us and it's just been
joined us and
downhill
it's been
since there.
Roller
What the
coaster
heck?
ride.
Yeah.
Welcome to the trauma group.
This is the place that you're from with the gnomes that flay people and laugh
No,
about
this
it.
is
And
not. No.
the
this is
cousins, you're all it's all the same to
It's
Belmy.
very, very different. Sorry, I did not mean to cough. I was like, couldn't hold it in and then realized I didn't mute it beforehand.
Cedric is just now. I mean, basically just a purple statue that rotates occasionally to look at things, but no motion, not articulating like normal anymore. Just more of a ghost now.
Let's go. And Catel's gonna start walking down,
As we walk
pretending she's somebody else.
down, as we walk down, Lorna's just going to whisper to Wynn in their language. Are you all right here? Has it been okay? I know it's not
I'm a guest here.
fair. All right then.
But what is about to happen? I cannot be here.
What do you mean?
She's requested to meet with you, not with me. I'll rejoin you when you're done.
All right then. Are you sure? You're part of us.
Not yet.
I see.
You're still in between.
All right then. Well, let's get this over with. And
So as you're
straighten shoulders.
as you're descending down, Wynn kind of nuzzles up into your cheek a little, and then springs off, and kind of flies back to the top of the balcony, and where she sits at the very top. But she sits right there, so you can still see her.
Eyes follow her the entire way, and then continue down.
So as you follow and you're all descending down there, one first thing you notice is that the purple light of Cedric is fading, not in intensity, in color. It's beginning to get paler and paler, and alarm starts to set in until you start looking at it. You notice color is actually fading from all of you. Each step, you get more color drained away. You don't feel anything. You don't feel any different. Color is just leaving you.
Okay.
I think that might answer our question.
Catel's just standing very straight, probably more stoic than she's ever been, which is saying something. And she's there's almost a hardness to her, but it's not like an offensive kind of hardness. It's just a ready. And she's got her hand kind of at her side on this non-existent hilt of a sword.
Continue. Everybody continue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Lexi still holding Dodger's hand? Okay, fair. And Dodger's kind of shrinking within himself. This is like high society, and he's like not to be seen. Like that's the mentality he's got, is like you should not be seen. And so he's just kind of shrinking within himself, still holding Lexi's hand because she hasn't let go. And keeps following, but he's shrinking in like the brightness of the high stress. It's like trying very hard to be smothered into like embers, like the hot kind of embers that glow and produce that high amount of heat, but it's just dimmed is where his hair's at.
Gives a very interesting effect too, because he's got feathers for hair.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, they're like these feathers that are like glowing like embers. Once you get to the bottom of the stairwell and you're on the main floor there, you can see that where the side of the room there, the stairs descended down, there's actually a passageway that goes under the balcony that you were standing on. But you can see maybe 5 feet into it, and it's pitch blackness within. Even for you, Cedric.
Interesting.
Look around. No other way to go. This seems to be our path.
This is it ends here
I don't like that.
at this empty throne.
So you're saying the only way to go is through this darkness?
No. There's the throne that's on one side, and then there's a opening on the opposite side, underneath the balcony. Where you
I
come
thought the
down.
throne was down below. Got it.
Okay,
Mhm.
where's the
Misunderstood.
blackness then?
So you come down the stairs,
Right.
back that way.
So
the
it's back
balcony is- it goes
upstairs,
underneath the
darkness.
balcony.
Darkness throne.
So we're not going into the darkness.
No, it's just there, but
Okay.
there's a passageway. And then there's just unless you go that way. I mean, you can.
No,
go.
we don't need to go into darkness. Not digging that.
White
Does it seem
hair.
like the rest of everything else around us has lost color too, or is it just us?
Everything's lost. It's like everything is in black and white.
All right then. Oof. And there's just the throne, and then the other side is just a wall, or is it an actual? Sorry, still not understanding placement at this point.
It's like
There's the empty throne on one side.
walls all along the sides. So
Is it like a rounded?
no, it's
routish?
rectangular in shape.
Okay.
Rectangular in shape. One end ends at this
The
throne.
throne.
The opposite end, where you're descending down the stairs, underneath where those stairs come down, is a passageway that goes.
Into
That's
darkness.
what I was trying to clarify.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gotcha.
Glance behind me at the darkness, and then stupidly approach the throne, and I'll kneel. One knee. Bow at
Okay.
my side. Hand on sword. Not like just resting there. Just kind of glance behind me at the rest of them. Like,
I will go up next to her and
really don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying my best, guys. Come on.
Improv.
I think I'll follow, but I'm not gonna kneel. I'm gonna stand in a line. Bellamy will do that.
Yeah, Cedric is also going to follow, but I don't even know if he can kneel at this point. And he's just
I
going
mean,
to
that's a fair question.
Yeah.
The only thing that is that, again, Cedric's not walking; he's more just moving now. But his hands still seem to be clasped around into his prayer.
I'll look at Lexi and kind of eye everyone else, and of the two groups of the standing and not standing, and just kind of
Maybe not. Oh, this is hard for. I don't think I'd kneel. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you want to kneel, you can, but I don't. Maybe when they come in, I'll bow my head down, but I don't. I wouldn't kneel.
Yeah, Dodger will walk up with Lexi, I'm assuming, and still hand clasped because he's not going to let go until you do, and he'll just kneel down on one knee and just kind of head lowered in supplication. He knows his station. He is of the lower class. This is not This is not out of the ordinary for him.
See, this is what I broke away from. I don't know.
Yeah, but hand is still in Lexi's unless she let goes. So he'll just be kneeling down with his hand up here.
Moments pass that feels like a breath and an eternity. And as you said, then you hear a rustling noise, and a leaf skitters from behind, followed by another one, still devoid of color. And you sense an approach. It's distant at first, and then suddenly upon you. And there's a shape that passes by from behind, and you see there's this figure, 12 feet in height, that just kind of glides past and immediately moves along and spins around to face you, directly in front of the throne. There's a sandalwood scent that permeates the air, and you see that it's coming from a sensor that this figure is carrying that just waves in the air, and smoke is emanating from it. And as she turns, you know you are in the presence of the Ashen Lady. Here she is.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay, that was really cool.
Who's the artist?
Well, now I gotta pull up the thing to look. It's in this sheet.
Wait!
It's on this. I gotta look at it's. This
Oh.
artist is.
Just had it.
I
know, but it's in the notes for this particular person. It's in there, and I can't show the picture and get to the notes at the same time.
Oh.
So give me a second.
Well, all I have to say is she looks.
It is. I don't want to butcher this name because I've only talked to her in typing, but it's Lera Styajkina, and she's fantastic and very nice.
And very talented.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I only dream of making something like that. Shoot.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, as I was hunting around,
Yeah.
I saw this. I was like, that is the Ashen Lady.
I bow.
So she,
No.
so she turns. So she turns,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
her gown wispy and such like that, but you see it's like got leaves and such like intertwined with it that seem to fall off and fade away and then just vanish as they skitter across the floor. She pauses there, almost like just taking stock of the group. And as she looks at the six of you, she finally speaks.
Rise.
She says,
I will do as she says.
Yep. All stands up, still keeping my eyes kind of towards not necessarily the floor, but like from her knees down, head very much in I know my station kind of vibe.
You notice as you're looking at her knees down, that the bottom, it seems to like, looks like it shifts in different directions from how she's standing, almost of its own accord, and it gives you the sense of like trees, branches swaying in the wind, as it shifts across. She motions this long, bony hand as she out across, and you hear like a ripping, like wood tearing sound as the statues, the wooden statues that you had seen, start to move and start to approach. And they're like ripping their feet out of the ground. You see roots and such being pulled out. And
like, oh god.
They move closer and closer and closing you in, from behind and the sides of you. And then stop, lift legs, or what appears to be legs, and slam them into the ground, and twist and start to crack and bend. And when they're done, there are 6 seats.
Belmy's shaking his head.
He is. I probably he's doing it imperceptibly, maybe, but he's probably shaking his head. This is really freaky.
I probably broken poor Dodger's fingers.
I need to heal Dodger now. Lexi's giving him like 3 or 4 damage.
You don't. I just rolled a nat 20 of like, is this something he's experienced before of someone being so scared that they are practically
You got that part of the hand that you can really squeeze without like crush it, like you don't have the fingers, or he's like, you got that
he's
part,
like maneuvered the hand of like, I've been here before, I know what this is like, just, and we're gonna put the hand here and we're cool.
So as they're kind of settling it, those chairs are settling it in, she then reaches her hand and she pushes forward, and in a instant, the throne just kind of bursts out in vines and branches and such, just seems to form around her and then take shape as she just gently sits where there was just air before, and is now sitting on the throne.
Once she's seated, I will, just without looking at what's going on around me, sit down on the one that is behind me, cross my legs. And for anyone who has been watching could tell, this is truly somebody else.
What do the rest of you do?
I wasn't going to be the first, but Belmy will happily sit down and make himself small.
I was gonna wait till she said to have a seat, but okay. Are they close? Like, I'm gonna have to let go of your hand, aren't I? Okay. I'm like,
they're close enough, but you would have to. Your
I'm
arm
like
would be
peeling my hand off, and I'm like, okay, and I go to sit.
I was just gonna look at Lorna, or at least at her shoes / kneecaps.
Eyes are fully on the Ashen Lady. She's not looking to anyone else.
But is she sitting?
Not until the rest of you do. She's watching.
If the chairs attack us, she'll be free.
I'll sit down.
Does Cedric sit?
Can
Cedric sit?
Cedric stands in the chair. Yeah, I mean, Cedric will probably just like sink a little bit, but not sit.
I guess my question is, does Cedric try to sit in the chair?
He's super duper focused on what he's doing right now, so he might like lower himself down, but I don't know if he would sit in the chair because he's pretty scared and lost right now. And he chose the scary path, and it's pretty spooky. He's trying to be courageous, but he's super focused on praying right now.
Okay. So what does Lorna do about that? Because Cedric's not quite sitting.
She'll, after she's seen everybody else, well, not really, she's watching, and then after just an extra beat, she'll take a step back and sit down in her chair, but like on the edge of it, she's ready, and her bow is sitting across her legs, just her hands running ever, like her thumb actually keeps running on the inside of the grip of the bow, just ever so lightly.
So as she sits there, and she's got one hand kind of claw kind of comes down and clasps around the arm. The other one that's holding the censer holds it out the side, and an arm kind of emerges from the side of the throne. This wooden twisted arm kind of goes out and like takes the censer, and she lets it go and puts her hand on the other arm.
Thank you for agreeing to see me.
We only hope to serve in such a way that is beneficial to all of us, my lady. What is it that caused you to have a desire to meet with the likes of us?
So many reasons. Each of your paths intertwining at different places. I was curious on where this path may lead.
Well, currently, we're not terribly sure where it might lead. Let us to you, I
Yes.
suppose.
I was so troubled by the loss of your corporeal forms. Your paths cannot end there. So much further you have to go.
And do you wish to help us with that? To continue our journey?
Oh yes, quite so. But with all things, there's a cost.
Of course.
She looks at where she just be kind of glancing at everybody, but she looks directly at Lorna.
My sister tells me of your goal. I find myself aligned in this pursuit. You I aid, so that you may finish it.
I'm grateful, my lady, but I cannot finish it without the rest of these. At least I don't think I can. We're flawed, but we tend to work well. And without each other, we tend to fall.
She looks at Dodger.
You have been on this path many times.
What?
Would you like to know your tale?
I don't think I've been here before. Or on this path before. I'm just a street kid.
Yes, you are. And you are not.
I'm very confused.
I could help you if you agree to my terms.
Dodger clamps his mouth shut and looks at Lorna.
Perhaps if you could explain them as simply as possible, he could make the best choice for himself.
Small words. I get very confused with big words.
Many paths. So many paths. I'll tell you of them if you promise your next path to me.
I don't know about that. Kind of found myself in a very committed relationship, and I look down at my sword.
Very well. We'll meet again.
He just pales.
She turns to Bellamy.
You carry the scars.
That's right. I don't think they're going to heal.
All things here. The enduring one will see to that.
Bellamy's eyebrows will kind of shoot up. All right. I figured he might, but
He's been with you all along.
it's hard for me to tell.
Enduring. Amanda. Sorry. Voice is a little.
Sometimes it's hard for me to tell that he's around. Kind of gave that up. Kind of.
You draw breath because of him. Your friend that you brought to my doorstep so recently. It's a gift from him to you.
Well, that's right. He was a gift a long time ago. I just figured I haven't heard head nor tail of the enduring one. I messed up. I don't think that life is for me anymore.
Not yet.
She cocks her head to the side. And you see her lips moving slightly. So she's speaking, but you hear nothing.
And you're not ready to hear his voice fully. But you will be.
I'm ready. I'm sure I am.
You think so?
I hope so. I want to think so.
She lifts her hand up. And somewhere in the deep recesses of your mind, where barriers have been placed that you were not aware of, suddenly get just brought down slightly. And you feel a pain, like searing hot pain in your head, like you eat too much ice cream and you get that cold headache kind of stabbing pain, that times like 100. It just like hits you, but with it comes these flashes of things that your mind can't process and put together, of this great entity that exists beyond the veil, that where others can't see, that you dance with. And then the barriers immediately come back up and the pain passes.
You are not ready.
I guess not. If I may, you know what? Never mind.
Oh no, please. Speak.
All right. I had set my mind to telling you this. We were told that we were guests here. We were attacked by some beasts. Now, where I'm from, if you're a guest, you're treated with some level of compassion, and you don't let harm come to people that are your guests. I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that there were some things that attacked us under your watch. I'm not too happy about it. Now, I beg your pardon. You drove the beasts away, and for that I'm thankful, but just didn't sit right with me. And I told myself I'd say it, and there it is.
Yes. The unaligned ones breached my pact I'd made with you. Their intent was to feast upon you, and therefore I returned to them in kind. You did enjoy your breakfast this morning, did you not?
Yeah, it was good.
You earned a guest rights and had the courage to speak your mind. I will grant you this boon. She
Probably don't need to talk normal with my voice. She waves her hand, and in front of you, at your feet, appear like kind of like creeps up out of the ground, this wood, vines and such, and kind of intertwine around, and they're kind of scurrying and cracking, just on top of each other, and then pull away. And there is a case there, a scroll case that sits at your feet.
Thank you. I will accept this with much appreciation. I'm gonna take the case, but I'm not gonna open it, I don't think, yet. Just kind of put it on my lap.
Okay.
Are we agreeable then? Are the scales balanced?
I'd say so.
She looks to Patel because that's what I rolled.
You. Such an interesting balance. So afraid, yet so courageous. I would assist you, but I do not know your destination. I wonder, do you?
Starting to get an idea.
We are kin, you and I. Very distant. But the old blood runs deep. Are you still afraid of that path, or are you willing to walk it?
I want it.
When you open your eyes, you see everything. And they'll see you too. But you have persevered this far. Draw on that strength.
Thank you.
Sorry for the delay. I checked my rolls. Now I'm down to 1d2. Lexi.
What is this?
You feel like a crackling like buzz along your back.
This is not of you.
You stop.
It's not painful. It's just
Okay.
but you can feel
Because
it like
before it was painful, so
no. It's
Okay.
there's definitely like a buzz, like
Okay.
you can feel like the little like staticky buzz to it, but it's
Okay.
almost like when you really kind of, it feels like fingers are kind of like tracing it.
Oh,
But everywhere the fingers touching, it's kind of like a little
that's creepy.
shock.
Okay.
You do not want this, and yet you do. I'm curious. Why?
To not be found.
Who is it that seeks you?
Someone bad? I don't remember his name. I don't think we ever decided on the name.
Yeah, we did.
Shoot! I don't remember.
Do you say
Lexi
the name?
would know.
Yes, Lexi would know
know
the name, so you can just be like, whatever that name is, that's what I
Okay,
say.
whatever that name is.
We all want to know.
I remember us throwing out like three
It will
or
be shared later. I
four
have to look up two,
names.
and
I
don't wanna
can't
have to- I don't
remember
have to go
which
through my notes to try
one
to
was
find it, but yeah.
decided on.
Oh, it was decided.
I can't remember which one we decided on.
He is not known to this court. Where does he reside?
Qadan?
City Blues.
What did you say?
City of Wands.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
What will happen if he finds you?
Well, I'd be dead. But apparently I already am.
Of a sort. If you remove it, do you know what you will become?
Wait, what?
If you remove it, do you know what you'll become?
Would become something? I've had this
Oh, yes.
thing in my back since I was very little.
It's a high arcana.
High arcana?
Arcana.
Okay. My ears do not work well.
It's okay. She sounds really cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool,
Oh.
but I'm like, no.
Great magic holds back your true self. A lesser magic crudely hides you. I ask again. Should I get removed?
Depends on what I would have to do to get it removed.
I would ask a favor for a favor. One that sets you on a path you already walk. You're going to the village they call Merimir. On a quest for one mortal named Fisk. Yes?
We are.
The item he is pursuing. Bring it to me instead.
A question.
Yeah.
My accord with Fisk is to just work the ship, correct?
To work for Fisk.
On the ship as the
That's where he's assigned
engineer.
you. That's where he's assigned you, yes. But that's not, your accord is not to be an engineer on the ship. Your accord is to
What I'm
serve
hearing,
Fisk.
DM, is that Lexi the player needs the accord in writing to be put in her notes.
That
So
would
that you
be
can-
possible, except it's not her accord.
Oh, that's
She
true.
just accepted an accord arranged with somebody else.
Somebody else.
Oh,
That's
true.
what, and I don't know what the wording of that accord exactly.
Yeah, you're straight out of luck, and I can't help you with that. Sorry. Never mind.
But if I did agree with this, that if that thing's out of my back, I don't have to have the accord anymore. Okay. Let me think for a moment. You can move on.
She turns to Cedric.
Lost soul.
Hold on a second. Got a note.
He's doing the note. What is everybody else's accord with Fisk?
Just to
I
protect.
don't have one.
Don't
Just to
have one.
protect the crew. Strictly to protect the crew.
I don't know what Cedric's and what his Lord is.
Cattell wouldn't have. Cattell, again, hung out with lawyers. It would have been very straightforward. with
because
no strings
I
attached.
don't want me agreeing to this to affect other people's accords. That's my worry.
Yeah, hers was strictly to protect the crew in French's favor.
Now, meta-wise, Dodger does not have this information, but as a player thinking about this, you don't know what's in that accord that you took on, and if you agree with this matron of fairy, like, that might break the accord in not the mutual understanding of everything's fine way. This might rupture it in a very bad way. That's my concern for you.
Can she dissolve the accord?
I believe dissolving an accord is a mutual thing.
Well, I'm wondering if the Fae, as an outside power, would be able to finagle something in which it would cause the contract to break without Lexi getting anything in trouble or anything.
Well, my understanding is that the accord was in place just to keep us hidden, to keep these people off our backs, and that was it.
That
So
is
it's
your
like-
understanding.
Yeah,
How close
That
is
it's
Lexi?
it's protection.
yeah.
We'll say
I guess she in the chair next to me is, I'm not sure. I'm assuming because the way we kind of set things up, it was Cattell and Lorna and Dodger kneeling. I'm just trying to know how close.
so. If Dodger knelt beside Lorna, then Lexi would be on his left, you on his right.
Yeah.
So you're a seat away from each other.
Yeah, so there's a seat between the two of you that Dodger's sitting in.
And he's just very far back in his chair, white knuckling it. Just very much lost in his own thoughts.
Okay.
And is very, very confused, trying to piece it all together.
Go ahead
So
and do
it's-
Cedric, and then
Yeah.
I'll see what she's gonna do.
All right, so she turns to the pseudo Cedric.
Pseudo Cedric.
That's my name.
Lost soul. We have no chord to strike, for I've already made my agreement with your benefactor.
You see like a sly smile curl on her lips. Does not look like it belongs there.
I have made an accord with the one you call Anemos. And in return, he's granted me your services for 1 year and a day. How does this make you feel?
And she leans forward.
I will serve.
So good to hear.
Cedric, as you're clasping your hands, feel like where you can see through because they're somewhat transparent. Your medallion has a different symbol on it now.
I don't know how that makes him feel.
And I don't have it readily available because I forgot to put it on here. So
Oh, for a year and a day to some other entity.
If you
Could
knew
be
the
worse.
half of
Could be
what's
worse. Could be a
going
lot
on
worse.
in Cedric Land, it's
Should have picked the window, man.
nah, this was already decided.
But the question
I mean,
is
I'm
it
gonna
a
own it, guys.
fey
We're
year
getting
in a
off
day
real
or a
life.
mortal year in a day? Because if it's a fey year in a day, that could be a freaking decade, man.
you asked that question.
No, notice the lack of accent
Oh,
here.
yeah. Is that Fey time or regular time?
Is that fey time or standard time? Like, lack of accent, that's a player question, not a Dodger question. He's not smart enough
Fair.
to ask that question.
That's fair.
Let's be
That's fair.
honest.
So after saying this, can it? Oh, okay. Cedric will look at this. Is it? But everything's still super distorted, right? Yeah. So, I mean, he's just trying to grapple onto anything. He's pretty at the end of his rope here. Yeah, so he just looks at it. Such is his fate.
Turns back to Lexi.
If I agree to this, I just want to make sure Atrix is okay.
Who is Atrix?
He was the one that saved me and got me out. He was the one that has that agreed to the accord with Fisk that I took over to protect me.
This Fisk. So meddlesome.
And would be a very, very horrible person to have after you if I do what I do. So, having the stone removed has one bad person not behind me, but then I'll have a new one. I see it as a lose-lose.
Lady, might I have a moment to speak with her?
By all means. I have other matters to attend. I shall return shortly.
And she just crumples, like withdraws within the throne. And it just and it's back where it originally was sitting, empty. Which is quickly followed by the flapping as Wynn joins you again.
And actually, unlike normal, she doesn't relax with Wynn on her shoulders. In fact, she probably tenses up a little bit more. Lexi, if you do this, it cancels your agreement with Fisk.
Yes, that's what I was saying. So I had one bad person, and it's just going to be another bad person, no matter what.
He may not know that you canceled it. If normally...
It's me
in
breaking an
cases,
accord. Bad things
Lexi,
happens when you break accords.
I signed an accord with him, and mine doesn't bind me. Because a phase is stronger. And I already had one. But Fisk doesn't know that. I function as if it does still exist, and the problem's not mine.
But
I can go anytime I want.
But as soon as I do not come back delivering what this item is, that is supposed to go back to Fisk, I'm assuming, he's going to know.
So we find another excuse why it's gone missing. Things happen. Look what happened to us on the road.
And that's even if we get the item. We might just be helping this guy find it. And then if we have to take it. We don't know. There's so many unknowns.
If we can get your friend to safety. Now I'm going to glance at Cattell. We know a place. If you won't mind moving. It's different. It's not like Petra. But there are people there that will keep him safe.
He is my main concern.
The choice is yours. I'm just telling you.
And then now I'm worried they're saying something if it comes on my back, I'm not even who I am.
Maybe that could be something even more. You're never going to change who you are, Lexi. That's not what anything does, unless you let it. I was always who I am, no matter how hard I tried to be something else. And I tried very hard. And I'm still not probably exactly what I am. But I'm more. You're who you choose to be. It's choice. Always choice. We chose to come here and not go through that window. I'm just telling you, if you make the choice, I'll stand with you. And I'll help.
But also, us taking this affects you as well. Everyone on Taiki's fortune would be affected by this.
Again, I say, for the most part, we can just continue on as we have before.
We hope.
That's a different court. But it is the court I hail from. And you've got Perseverance sitting there in the seat. Which is apparently from this court. The choice is yours.
I just hate that my choice affects so many.
For the record, Lexi, I'm behind you as well. And Templeton Fisk can go to hell for all I care. I don't have an accord with him. I don't particularly like the guy. I don't even know him.
Well, he's
but
not a good guy.
whatever you decide,
No.
like Lorna said, I'm behind you.
It's just another strong enemy that we'll have.
I mean, I'm already on his shite list. So, to all the 9 hells with him. I don't mind it, no matter which way you choose. Whether that's to stay with your accord with Fisk, or to take this one.
The only reason I was there is he has a clue I need, or so he claims. If he doesn't, or if the path leads somewhere else, as the lady said, many paths. Ours just happened to converge.
Do you remember what I told Dodger and Bellamy when they were deciding to join us? My accord is to take care of my crew once they became a part of us. If Fisk ever came after any of you, he would be making an enemy of me. And I may have run away from where I have spent most of my life. But there is one person, a very powerful person in that city who I know would never turn his back on me. And he has connections that at the very least, we would be able to protect ourselves. I'm not afraid of Fisk.
Right.
Cedric? You're the one who's lost the most here.
Cedric is just staring at something in his hand, and he looks over at you, and still in the very distant whisper, "I will serve."
In the end, if Cedric is now at the behest of a new master, and he is sent after this thing, it's choosing between fighting your friend and fighting one who never was.
Patel, can your friend get Atrix out of there? If you can get him to my village, you know enough. He'll be safe.
If anyone can do anything about it, it is Jethro, but I have to be able to contact him in a way in which there is no interception. I have a language with some of the people there. The difficulty is knowing whether he would bother to hand off the information to his father.
What if the messenger will speak to no one else?
Or if it just arrives on somebody's desk without anyone knowing they were there.
He'd need a translator. Jethro doesn't know it was just a handful of
Just
us.
needs an envelope dropped on a desk. If that is the case, we could send a missive to Granddad, and someone can break in, drop the letter on the desk, and leave.
Break in. That's amazing.
Or at least get in with one of the staff. Something we used to do all the time, especially with the highbrow people.
We don't know anyone who can communicate telepathically, do we?
I might be able to, but I got to be kind of close.
Or we ask it for it as part of the agreement. We're already negotiating here. And it seems this is a mild part. And if it's the linchpin in the deal, it's fairly simple for a Fae to do what you're asking.
I believe it.
Especially one as powerful.
Well, couldn't I just ask her to protect Adrix?
That's a larger request, but one that's possible.
Well,
But
that's
it may cost you more. How much are you willing to pay? If there's a better option or an easier option that costs you less, would you take it?
I mean, of course, but
Jethro is a man of honor and values, and I can't imagine him not wanting to get involved for the mere fact of he is who he is. It just might means I have to go back. Anemos. Of which I am not significantly afraid of anymore. I'm going to have to go back there eventually anyway.
I think it just comes down to time.
Again, I don't think Fisk is going to know that the Accord's been broken. At least, he seemed to have no clue that mine didn't take. I'm not sure. Maybe the lady would know, but to me, we continue on as normal. But for the one thing, we just fail the mission. I have a feeling
Give it a try.
we might be dealing with Fisk on a bigger level anyway at some point.
I just have to figure out how to get word to Atrix.
Well,
From Mirror. How long does it usually take for messages to be sent through the Ætherealms? Mm-hmm.
Nearly instantaneously.
Okay.
It's the power of magic.
It's just a matter of that person getting that message from
Right.
the place.
Yeah.
So in
How
that
long for a handwritten letter?
That takes a little longer because you'll have to find there are people that will do transport letters and such too. You can either go to a airship that's traveling to that destination and just pay a small fee to have the captain carry it, or there's a guild that kind of like the post service that will run things around as well, but it's slower because you actually have to travel to those destinations.
Fair.
Well, I mean, I have a way to communicate with them in code of like bail. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
so
if we can get to Mirror, I could send the message to Redlin or Esther. They're more likely, I think, to pass on the message.
well, and like
I can do it.
Wait, does Winters talk?
Yes, I just
Your
talked.
coin
Of course I
your
talk. I'm
coin
always
finally
talking.
dropped. But I've never understood you before.
Because you're never listening.
Which
All
message?
was listening.
All of them.
Which?
I can get Atrix out.
That's true. He's met Atrix. She's met Atrix before.
Could you get him somewhere? My people could come collect him. Protective custody sort of thing.
And as she's saying this, talking to you, she's looking right at Lorna.
We could take them or him to Lorna's people. I know they've had some dealings, even if a little. There's some mutual respect, I think. He always spoke highly of them. I don't know how they feel about him.
As far as I know, they've always been fair. They'll protect anyone who falls under, who's guided to them, who they are called. And it sounds like that's exactly what he needs. Plus, it's so far out. The chances of anyone bothering to go that far. And if they did, they'd made with an interesting find, that's for sure. My mother's a bit of a terror if she wants to be.
I wouldn't put it past Fix, but between your mother and Captain Jethro Winnock, I'm sure.
Are you sure this is something you want to do? You don't have to. You can find another way.
I can do it.
Will you be able to find us again?
I can always find you, Lorna.
Yeah, I'm just the one constantly chasing after you, trying to find you.
But this time you know where I'm going.
That is helpful. Thank you. It's your call, Lexi.
Like getting all
When-
emotional. When?
If Wynn says she can do it, she can do it.
Okay.
Will Atrix listen? Will he go?
Yes.
Can you get him directly to Lorna's people?
Aye.
Then maybe all I'll do is let Jethro know someone needs looking after. In tandem.
So when kind of drops down, she's perched up on the arm of the chair that Lorna that you're sitting in.
I'll do this under one condition. Promise me you won't die.
I think I've already done that.
And don't die twice.
Just get back quickly, please.
I'm
Missed
fast.
you.
I'll get there.
All right. Be faster than fast. And don't steal anything.
Don't steal.
Don't borrow.
Well, how am I supposed to get by?
Uh-huh.
I'm not using it.
And I'm just gonna reach out and just grab her and give her a hug.
She gives you a 6-armed hug.
And I'll
Okay,
whisper
guess
in her
what?
ear. I'll whisper in her ear. Might be a bit nice to stretch your legs too. Then I'll let her go.
And I give Win a hug.
When you get there, back where Lorna and I come from, if you need anything, visit the ranch outside of the village. My father has an infinity to taking in and helping waywards. He'll give you all the food you want. And if he does, maybe bring back those cookies.
Now I'm very excited.
When I whisper to Win what she needs to say to Atrix, just like a line, I go, tell him that. He will understand.
She nods.
As the other two are finishing up talking, I'm just gonna clear my throat. When you get to the village, make sure to tell Atrix to find Andrea. And tell him to tell her wayward daughter sends one who needs Taurus protection.
I will.
And it's the best I can do. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
And then I'm just going to sit in the chair, turned away.
Wynn gives each of you except Cedric a hug.
As Dodger gives a hug to Win, there's a single light blue fiery tear that falls from his eye.
I know, I've been crying.
And he hugs her tight and just lets her go. He would go looking for food in his bag, but it's all not good. It's all terrible, and he knows it. And just, I wish I could give you some jerky.
One last thing before she leaves. So Wynn kind of passes over and places her hand on Lorna's head and kind of brushes her hands through her hair for a moment, and then gives it a little tug, and then flies away.
Stop it.
Well, we're going to end there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so I still haven't agreed.
What's in my little scroll case?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you. So your scroll case.
I messaged him about that and I was like, what's in your scroll case? He's like, I was going to ask. Hang on.
I'll tell you the deets on it, but when you look at it, it's got, it's a wooden case, and on the top is engraved this raven symbol. I will.
Is that the new symbol that's on my thingy?
No. I gotta go dig that one
That'd
up.
be too easy.
Yeah, you've got a white wolf on yours, John.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I just got her back.
I know. Do you know how horrible I freaking feel right now? I feel like crap. Oh my gosh.
And I was thinking it, and I was like, she can't bring one. She wouldn't offer unless she had a chance to talk to Wynn about it. And two, and then, yeah, I was like, she's struggling to let her go right now.
I have a quick question, DM. So Flix and now the Ashen Queen, is Cattell getting a sense that this is court specific or just in general, like Fae in general?
What do you mean?
About being related. like cousins or whatever.
You get the sense it's much deeper.
Much deeper.
What does that even mean?
I know.
So it's not just General Fae. It's not Autumn Court. It's something else.
Yeah, I would say like, just based on what Cedric has shared and what little you put together. So yokai and fae
Right.
they branched. But if you go deep enough back, they are of
Okay.
one blood.
Okay. Got it. All right.
Like way back.
Way back.
Got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm
after that emotional roller coaster,
I know. I'm like, I've cried and everything else.
I'm gonna go sit in bed and cry now.
I know.
I did not need this emotional turmoil. Like
It's all my fault.
every other week. Thanks.
This is like all my fault.
It's not
Telling
your
you, I'm just
fault.
setting up. I'm
It's
setting up
not.
Wynn to go find McCree, and they'll come together as a united force.
Just a win riding an owl bear just
Yes.
into a
I'm
fight.
there for it.
That'd be
Just
awesome.
breeds. Here for it.
Yeah, well, my dad just sold me into slavery.
Yeah, that too. I'm like,
That was like,
Yeah.
some of us
whoa.
got off a little light. at
Whoa.
the
Some of us
Cedric
got off real light. Like,
run.
oh, you're cool.
Have a
Don't
gift.
need anything.
Yeah,
from
you got a
me.
gift.
Yeah, I don't
You
get
got
a
a
gift.
gift for being a
I
smart
got- I
aleck.
got a choice.
I'm
I'm
going
just,
from one enemy to the
Cedric got
next.
sold into servitude. Catel's cool. Lorna's, I don't know. And then we got Lexi, who's like, "You've got this big deal. Make your choice. Accept it
Yeah.
or don't. Deal with the consequences of either." Ha ha.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I'm like sick of my stomach.
Mm.
Oh,
Wow.
yes,
This
this
is
is upsetting.
actually
Ooh.
The most comfortable Catel has been since the beginning.
This is the most uncomfortable I've been in since the beginning.
Cedric's wondering if Aranos is mad or just disappointed.
No, because the issue I'm having with is that I only was only affecting Atrix, and Atrix took that on, and now it's like I have more people that my issue is affecting, and that's really, 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 really upsetting me.
You didn't get to. No.
Yeah.
We chose to take.
Yes, but I still
Yeah,
feel. But you have to
exactly.
think, I'm a 16-year-old girl. I'm like,
I mean,
this
that's
is all
fair.
my
That's fair.
fault,
All
you
the
know?
teenage angst and
Yeah.
guilt that
So I'm
comes
just
with
like,
being
it's
a
all this
16-year-old.
guilt, and I just want to.
Just wait till you find out what she was referencing about Lorna. You all are gonna go, oh crud. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that was
We
a
don't
fun
even
night.
know what's going on with how, we've got Dodger over here who's turning down one deal, and then maybe it's dual warlock business going on over here, and then we've got Belmy who is trying to, getting migraines from trying to be close to his god, and then Cedric, who just got his dad just said it's okay, you can him for a year and a half and a day, it's all good.
Yeah. How very Dresden of that whole situation right there.
Oh
Just,
yeah, big time. Gee, I
Right.
wonder why.
Okay. So that was a fun-filled evening of like
Yes, it
major
was. And did you make a
info.
decision, Laura? Who did we choose?
Huh? Oh yeah,
'Cause
it
I
was.
wasn't sure if we did that on the break or if we did
It
that
was
on
during
We
the
did
break.
it on
It
the
was during
break.
It was during the break, but we didn't announce
I
it.
assigned the 3 remaining people a d6, and I chose who got the higher one, and it was Lorna.
I have so many notes, like how to convince all this.
Now you just gotta streamline.
This is
it.
the episode I'm gonna have to like
Yes.
totally
Just Cliff notes
rewatch
it.
because there was a lot of info.
Right?
There was a lot of
Yeah,
info
like,
over
like little dangles of like insight. Yeah.
this one,
Woo.
not last one, but the other two.
Yeah.
Lots of little things, just little things.
What the
Peppered
hell
in.
am I?
Pepperlings. All right. So, wrap it up.
Oh. Oh yeah, we're still streaming. Hi guys.
Oh,
Still
gosh.
Yeah.
reeling. Yeah.
So if you want to pick up the chat with us, we are available on through Discord and such. Talk about talk about other geeky stuff, as Laura said at the very beginning of it, where we like to geek out there as well. So start a conversation, join a conversation, what have you. Check out the website that's in the links below. There's can't stress enough how much content there is out there, as far as there's this stream, but there's also the previous stream with the Misfits, which was a very interesting take on Chris Estrad with a very interesting cast. That was fun to watch. And then the one shots as well, which are typically designed to be just really good, just entertaining one shots and such out there. Those are out there too. So take advantage of that. Geek Grind Coffee.
Promo code Iconic.
Promo code
Super
Iconic.
tasty.
Good stuff. Take advantage of that. We appreciate you hanging out with us and kind of joining us on the story we're telling. But we'll be back here again next Monday.
No, we will not.
Oh,
Next
that's
Monday
right.
is Valentine's Day. We're going to be off.
That's true.
Oh,
Yes.
Right.
man.
Thanks,
So it's
Bell
gonna be 2
May.
weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
Oh my God, this is going to kill me.
And I'm gonna be
This is-
so tired. I'll be coming back from Gallifrey.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah,
this
you
is going to
are.
suck.
Oh.
I'm gonna be zonked.
Yeah, so we're off next week, guys. But happy Valentine's Day.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Yeah, so we're not going to be, yeah, so I guess we're not going to be. I just lost track of that. So
That kills
so
me.
you see how much Valentine's Day resonates with me. I was like, oh, is that happening? Thank you, Hallmark. So
Yeah,
we're
guys,
back
I'm
on-
married to that. Yeah.
I don't disagree, so I'm gonna sit here and just
Neither-
nod.
Neither do I, which is why I find it funny.
all right, so we'll be back in 2 weeks, 7:30 Central Time, 5:30 Pacific Time, 8:30 Eastern Time. I think I would do those like kind of work my way across the coast in order, so I don't have to like squeeze in 6:30 for Mountain Time. But those are our times that we'll be on and ready to pick up the story. So that being said, thank you all for joining us down here by the lakeside.